Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Morning. It's I. It's he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, to my left, Righteous Reg. What's going on, brother?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. I got to hear my theme song finally today without my computer blowing up, without StreamYard kicking me out. It's Media Man. It's Saturday morning. Philip Lindsey. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of technical stuff, we ironed them out.
Yes. Thank
you
God.
Hear your theme. I have finally X'd out my old ring light that I had on my other camera, put another light up. No belly blue filter this week, guys.
Listen,
clear skies around here.
I was digging the Hype Williams, Phil. I wasn't too mad at it.
Clear skies around here, man. Crystal clear, 1080p.
Let's go, baby.
But yeah, we are good. We're here. Grapsody merch is available. Speaking of obsolete, no more Grapsody.Big Cartel. For the moment, you can still buy things at Grapsody.Big Cartel, but Grapsody.com, you can find a lot of our merch at now.
At what now?
Grapsody.com, buddy. We are officially, domain name is officially purchased.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Grapsody.com, that is a big deal, you guys. Like having a domain, that means when people type our little name into I don't know, where are they typing in now, Phil? Gronk or like Chat GPT, wherever they type their things now. Grapsody.com, where you can find all your Grapsody things, get you some merch, get you a hat like me and Phil that I wear almost every single day and look fly.
Yeah, you can get this hat. You can get our old hat. There's some other merch on there. So yeah, Grapsody.com for all of your merch purchases.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, shout out to woman who has probably made a very, very sizable leap in the GOAT conversation. A'ja Wilson picking up championship number 3. What a year. Getting a third championship, defensive player of the year, MVP, finals MVP, all in the same year. It's so crazy because I was talking about it with my dad when they started going on that win streak and Vegas just couldn't lose. I was like, oh no, man, it feels like they're gonna repeat, man. And sure enough, man, Las Vegas Aces are your WNBA 2025 champions. Shout out to A'ja, man, doing big things. Really cool to see that. Like I said, gonna be harder and harder to keep out of that GOAT conversation after this.
That's a fact. Big shout outs to A'ja Wilson, making it look easy too. Like that game-winning shot she had from the other night, that's now going to be on posters and billboards around the world. Just like, this is when the game's on the line, you give it to the best player, and the best player does what the best player does. Got all the accolades this finals because she did it. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. I didn't know Vegas was going to have a winning squad eventually in sports, but they are here and they are doing it. Look like they are going to keep doing it too, Phil.
Yeah. Again, really cool to see that for her. Really cool to see a lot of attention that the women are getting. Well deserved. This is probably the most popular women's basketball has been in my entire time watching sports.
Ever. Yeah.
which is cool. But man, at one point they were trying to act like Caitlyn was taking over this league, and I was like, nah, this is still Asia's league, man. Asia's still the
Yeah.
best player in the league, and here we are, man.
I like how she was quiet through all of that. Well, she was loud on the court, you know what I mean? But she was just like, y'all can talk and say whatever you want,
Hey,
but
man,
I'm gonna be over here cooking no matter what.
Hey man, get your shit off. I'm about to go win another ring now. That's
Right.
cool.
All the news stories are that person. It's chill. I'm over here doing my thing. I don't care. Probably made it easier for her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure, Jose. Pay these women, dog.
Straight up.
Pay these women, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hear this that, you know, women's basketball don't make that kind of money. They're introducing more and more games. They're bringing in more expansion teams. That money coming from somewhere.
Dog.
Money needs to trickle down to the women.
In and out managers make more than some of them NBA players, and that's not what this should be. They're on TV. They sponsorships. Everybody's talking about them like, oh, they don't have any money. Somebody got some money somewhere. Somebody need to be paying these women because they changed the whole trajectory on what women's basketball was. People were not looking out for women's basketball just like 4 years ago. You know, now they're like, let's watch this. We're in. They know the players. They're superstar women's players now. Like, it's a different game.
Yeah, pay these women, man.
Pay them.
But yeah, it's been quite a week. I have not heard any of this Mobb Deep album yet.
I actually
heard good things about it.
A good chunk of it yesterday, Philip Lindsey, and it is better than I could have expected. I started out with, there's a song with Nas is featured pretty prominently on it because it's released on Mass Appeal Records. Everybody knows that Nas, Mass Appeal Records is his. So he has a bunch of features on there. There's a song called Pour Out Henny on there. And this Prodigy verse, like, I don't know if he knew or where he was or what was going on, but he you just have to hear it. It's insane. It's been very emotional music on there. The Prodigy verses, Phil, I'm like, how did you have this many dope Prodigy verses just like in some vault somewhere? Like almost every song is like a hard ass Prodigy verse. Havoc does a bulk of the production, so it feels like a classic Mobb Deep album. A lot of dope features. The song with Big Noid, who's been on a lot of Mobb Deep song, is incredible. Like, this is a great album. They have a song with the Clips, Mobb Deep and the Clips, and it's like, this is what hip hop is. For both of these groups to have great albums this year, it feels like it's amazing. If you haven't heard the Mobb Deep, it's really dope. You know how I feel about them posthumous albums, Phil? Like, it gets like, I was even nervous about turning it on, you know what I mean? Because it like art, man, we don't know if he wanted these verses out. We don't know anything about anything, but like hearing it and it all fits, it all works, it sounds great. It's a great album.
Yeah. I haven't heard it yet, but I will give it a listen. Rest in peace to Prodigy for sure. Big salute to Havoc continuing to do it big out there.
Alchemist.
Alchemist, who bro, I was listening to some of Jadakiss' very first album, and when We Gonna Make It hits, bro, it's just like one of the greatest hip hop records of all time. And this is why last week when I was like, we got to stop just being like, oh, Kanye's the greatest producer, bro. The way I feel like Alchemist is leaps and bounds above him. Like, and I bet if I tweeted that out like right now, some people would be mad at me and trying to argue me. But he is.
Definitely. If I were to pick 5 hip hop songs of all time across all rappers, like We Gonna Make It is one of those songs. Like, that's how powerful that song. Like, when that beat hits, it's like, what is this? And then Styles and Jada are going back and forth. It's like a 10 out of 10 perfect rap song to me.
Absolutely.
Nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah. Send us your super chats. That's the best way to get your chat read on this podcast. You can also send us a Humper Chat, humperchats.com/Fightful.
Are a lot of people here for to hear about a show that happened a little bit ago? Is that?
I would assume so, because it was like an hour ago.
It just ended, I think, right? Shout out to y'all people that are here. You can submit super and Humper Chats. We always appreciate you for joining the conversation here with your boys on Grapsody, continuing into our 4th year. Very exciting stuff going on here. We'll get into a few of those super chats, those humper chats, and we'll move forward here. Appreciate y'all. The homie Reggie Simmons starts us out with a very generous super chat. Appreciate you always, Reggie Simmons, who says, "Happy fucking Grapser Day." And that's it. That's all you really need to say here, Philip Lindsey. Feels good on a Saturday. I'm recovering from being a sick person. I hate being sick. It's stupid out here. Denise and I were talking about it on the show. It's like if you do, because I did the last week, it's like we had the 4th anniversary pod, and then we had the regular pod, and then I did a couple shows with Denise, and then I did the commentary at West Coast Pro. Shout out to my homie at West Coast Pro. And like my throat, my voice, all that was like gone afterwards because of just talking so much. And like every time you extenuate or go extra with your voice, like it feels like you get sick immediately afterwards, and that's what happened to me. So weird.
Yeah. It felt like that coming out of Texas. I was doing a lot of traveling, and I was not feeling good for a while when I got back. So yeah.
Every time I go to Texas, that seems to happen. So shout out to Texas for being what you guys are. Appreciate you, Reggie Simmons. The homie Minimal says, "Happy Grapsody Day. Was at Collision on Wednesday and saw the Ibushi injury live and been in a funk ever since. Here for some therapy with my favorite show." Minimal, I don't.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Speedy recovery, Dakota Ibushi. Sounds like a terrible injury. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
So unfortunate that Ibushi seems to keep falling into these things and comes back for a couple weeks, and then he's back with another injury. He's been down for the last couple years with some pretty bad injuries. So I hope that he can recover from this one. This one is his femur, they say. That's almost impossible to break from things that I was researching. So he really did something there. Speedy recovery to the homie. Shout out to him. Hopefully Josh Alexander's okay off of that too, because anytime somebody gets injured in a match, I'm sure you probably not placing the blame on yourself, but you feel a little bit responsible. So I hope that Josh Alexander's good off of this too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Minimal. The homie Van Twin Blade says, "Here's $5 towards the amazing pork steak you're gonna eat next Saturday, or maybe a gooey buttery cake, ravs, or a turtle from Ted's Drew's frozen custard." What's a pork steak?
I'm assuming that's a St. Louis reference, because I will be in the city of St. Louis next Saturday. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to decide, do I want to try to record our podcast that Saturday, or do I want to just move it to Sunday?
Let me know. Whatever you need, we can do that. You could find me in St. Louis. Are you going to have the Band-Aid, or what's the I just want to know how you going into this,
Yeah, I don't want to get back into that talk about that crazy list, but not having Nelly's first album in a top 100 hip hop albums list is insane. Just want to get that out there. That isn't great. That is just what?
No country grammar, you guys? Like, what do you
not having that in there is crazy. Like, but yeah, no, I will not be rocking the Band-Aid. But I will be in St. Louis. You can't find me in St. Louis next week. Midwestern representative.
I'm not like Nelly. Historically, I wasn't always playing Nelly. Wasn't my favorite rapper. Sometimes, like at one point, like when he was against KRS-One, he was the enemy. Phil, like I was arguing with niggas all kind of places. But I remember a couple years ago, I went to Outside Land Festival in San Francisco, and he was playing, and it felt like the Flow Rider thing in Vegas. So it was just like hit after hit after. I was like, damn, Nelly got like a bunch of them, and like everybody was into it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I disrespected old Cornell for a long time here.
Yeah, bro, one of the highest selling hip hop albums of all time. The impact that album had when it dropped. Nah, I'm not this big huge Nelly fan either, but you gotta give us credit.
Dude has sold a lot of records, man. Like he's diamond status. Like rappers don't be doing that, and he's one of those.
Yep.
Appreciate that, Van Twin Blade. Leonard Aaron III says, "What's up, gents? Read that Cena and AJ crushed it this morning, which further reinforces that Triple K sees talent. He can't book talent, especially if they're black. Then it's a hard no-go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, better a hard no-go than a hard
okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. It's crazy out here. I'm not surprised to hear that. I mean, this is the reason that everybody wanted Cena and AJ to lock up one more time before Cena's gone, because AJ brings something different out of Cena. Cena turns into PWG Reseda Cena, and he starts doing code reds and 450 splashes for some reason, because that's the game.
Yeah, I see you in the chat talking about it, Jose. I thought that the Peacemaker finale was good. I think the season of Peacemaker has been very good. I won't get into too many spoilers for people who have not seen it, but I enjoyed it.
I think I am going to start that. I actually, you know me, 100 years late on things. I watched the full Ironheart this week, and I enjoyed it a lot. I liked all the Chicago references and everything attached to that. Pretty fun. So I'll get to Peacemaker probably next year.
Yeah, I popped pretty big when they played Deep Cut for Lupe, Kick Push 2 on one episode. I was like, wow, Kick Push 2. Then we got a Saba reference and a Saba cameo.
Yes. Now when Kick Push 2 came on, I was like, oh yeah, this is a really Chicago show, actually. This is hella Chicago.
Yeah, bro. One of the episodes takes place in the White Castles and fucking Harold's reference. Very Chicago show.
Yes. Big fan. I feel like every time there's a Chicago show, it's dope though. Cause like Southside is probably like legit one of my favorite shows of all time. Like I'm so sad that there's only 3 seasons of it. Such a great show. That's all of our, nope, we got one more super chat for now. The homie Grapple Geekery says, finally caught y'all live. I'm on the men too, Reg. Yeah, it's crazy out here, Grapple Geekery. Meanwhile, can TK finally give us 2 women's matches per Dynamite, especially in 2.5 hours? I think you bring up a very good point here, my friend Grapple Geekery.
Yeah, 2.5 hour show and only 1 women's match. Yeah, nah, got to step that up, especially after the advancements we've made and announcing that you're gonna bring in women's tag titles, and then setting up the premise for the women's blood and guts match. I would have liked to see more with the women this week on Dynamite.
And it's not like they have nothing, Phil. Exactly what you're describing. They've set up a few things here for the women. And like last week, I was like, all right, you guys, this Sareee stuff, shut up. Like, relax. Like, it'll be fine. I'm like, if this is a moment where you could have did something like that on this show and had a nice little surprise for us in this 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it here soon. That's all of our super chats for now. Appreciate you, Grapple Geekery.
Yeah, appreciate you. We've got some humper chats. Got one from Van Twin Blade. I think this is for us, Van. He says, so Wesley and a bunch of other got cut yesterday, so the Fed could save some money. 1 week till Wrestle Dream, Darby/Mox, I Quit match, Hanger Joe world title, Chris/Tony women's world title match, Fletcher/Briscoe TNT title, Brodito versus Take and Okada.
Pretty fire card set up here so far. Looking forward to that. Yes, there were a number of WWE ID and development releases this week. We talked about WWE ID a lot this week on social media and how people felt and the people that were attacked initially when we talked about it, because we knew kind of where the thing was going. A couple of very surprising ones, I think, Phil, were released here. Kylie Ray, I think, of course, off rip. But what she represented in WWE ID, Phil, it was like, what?
Yeah, Kylie coming in and waving the flag pretty hard for WWE ID and being the first women's champion. For her contract to end that way was very interesting. Of course, she's been kind of radio silent in terms of in-ring stuff recently because she announced that she's pregnant. Congratulations to her on that.
Congrats.
But yeah, not renewing her contract when she's pregnant is definitely a choice.
Looks great.
But I would expect no less from this company. I don't know.
I was like, damn, they released her. She's pregnant. She got a baby inside of her. And they were like, nah, you can stay after the baby's done. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. Then seeing some of the other WWE ID wrestlers that just did not renew. Zeta Steels was one of the big names. This seems like it was her choice. She didn't want to renew. I can't remember. There was another guy that's been on Evolve that also didn't renew.
Yep.
Forgot his name.
The homie Zara Zacher, who
Yeah.
I've been championing for a year plus now. She did some great work in West Coast Pro. She announced that they're not renewing her contract and she's going to take some time away from wrestling. So double bummer with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. It does kind of feel like yeah, this is some of the people that weren't renewing, they're just going to go in a completely different direction.
Yep.
Jamar Hampton, that's the guy
Yes.
that I was thinking of.
Mhm.
But Jamar Hampton announced that he was released from WWE, and he put out his own statement. He's healing up from an injury as well, healing up for a hip injury. And he basically said the same thing, that he's basically, this was his attempt at wrestling. He's going to leave it to professionals. He's going to move on. If you guys do not remember, Jamar was one of the few people from WWE that spoke up about Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
So salute to that young man. Good luck in whatever you want to do next. I don't think it's terrible when people act like, oh, well, this person just showed up here. They don't really love wrestling. Like, hey, maybe he tried it and saw it wasn't really for him. And there's nothing wrong with that.
The reason why I'm not mad at that is because that's what WWE want. They don't care that these people don't have wrestling backgrounds or wrestling, blah, blah, blah. They're getting them off the street, essentially, off Instagram, off of whatever. They're like, do you want to try it? And if these people are like, yeah, then they're going with them. So I can't be mad at somebody for getting some kind of bag and them being like, hey, try this thing out, because I would have tried it too. But yeah, yesterday, the biggest one for me was the release of Wesley. Desmond Xavier, for people that don't know, one of the best, most talented wrestlers in the entire company if you give him the opportunity to do it. We saw him as North American champion, a big chunk in NXT, and he did a lot of tremendous things there. I don't think he was fully given the time and space to cook. Injuries came and played place. He had a bad injury at one point. But I think I was like, how old is this guy? This guy's 30 years old. I looked yesterday and I was all, oh, he still has so much time. There's still so much that he can do. Not even in his prime yet. I feel like he can still get to an even higher level. So that was frustrating to see him release. But then I was also like, I'm gonna try to get this full booked in West Coast Pro. So I don't know. What do you want from me?
Great wrestler.
Amazing.
I think really excited about the idea of all the Rascals being back together. That sounds fun.
And the guys just announced that their TNA contracts are expiring too. Zach Wentz and Trey Miguel said that their contracts are expiring, and Myron Reed doesn't have a contract, it sounds like. So everybody's going to be free to go ham.
Interesting. Trey Miguel is one of those guys that is extremely underrated. I'm surprised that he doesn't get more praise than he does. But
me too.
Yeah, man. Wesley, I think he had a good run as North American champion. He was doing really well on NXT at one point, and then unfortunately had the back injury. I don't think he ever quite figured it out as a heel. I still don't quite understand the decision to turn a guy that's that likable and can wrestle that way into a heel. I just think that this guy is made to be a babyface with the way that he works. And I just don't think that it ever quite worked for him as a heel. And again, he'll be fine. He'll end up, going back and reuniting with the Rascals or doing something else. He's just too talented for it to not end up somewhere. He's going to be wrestling somewhere.
Way too talented to not be anything. And you guys, I know they pitch and talk a lot about anybody that's released. They're like, Tony Khan, sign him. I don't never be doing that because most of the time I don't feel like that's a good fit. This time I would go to Wesley, bat for some fucking Desmond Xavier. This guy can cook. He's fast. He's awesome. He's great. He could do all kind of things, everything that you would need in the talent. So I want to see him everywhere. That's it.
Great talent that belongs on TV, man. I feel the same way about Trey. Belongs on TV. Yes. Myron for sure. We say all the time, I don't understand how no one has signed Myron. He's such an exceptional talent. But yeah, man, best of luck to Wesley. Best of luck to some of the other people that did not renew their WWE ID contracts or were released by WWE.
Tough week.
Tough week for those people, but I have no doubt that some of these people will land on their feet. The WWE conversation is interesting. When it was initially announced, we both were kind of like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This looks away. And I have not felt any better about it since then. And this announcement about, the way people are getting out of their contracts is interesting. The Raja Jackson thing happened, and the way WWE distanced themselves from Rikishi's promotion and just how that went is also kind of weird. I don't know as of now, has WWE truly benefited anyone?
I was thinking about it because we talked about it a little bit on Ask Grapsody this week, and I've been thinking about it since that we had that conversation, Phil, and like still haven't came up with a good answer.
I don't have anyone off the top of my head. And there have been some really great names linked to WWID. This just from its onset when they announced that Kylie got a WWID contract, I was just kind of like, but we know Kylie can work.
Yeah.
Kylie's better than a good amount of people that are on NXT.
Yeah.
Why not just sign her? I don't know.
I think they just wanted the face of the whole thing, Phil. That's what it kind of felt like. They're like, we need somebody to be the face of WWE.
I still don't quite get that. But yeah, and then like some of the other people, like you said, Zara, she's great. The Cappuccino Jones, Jack Cartwheel.
That clip was going viral this week and the last week.
Like out of all of the people that I've seen coming up and evolve that I'm excited for, it isn't really any of the WWID people. The most exciting person I'm seeing coming up is Kelly Armstrong. I think she's going to be it. I think she looks like a big star. You can tell once they're ready to either put her on NXT or one of the main shows, she's going to be off to the races. I haven't seen where this has worked out as well for any of the WWID recruits.
Yeah, the reason why I was saying because the independent wrestlers that were already cooking, they got less bookings when they started becoming WWE ID because either they were only dealing with people that were affiliated and the people that weren't affiliated were too nervous to even deal with what comes along with that. And yeah, I started seeing, like, I was seeing Jack Cartwheel every weekend in a million places before this WWID thing, and it's not like that. And it should be the opposite. I should be seeing him in more places when he's attached to a thing like that. And it felt like that's how it was for a number of wrestlers. Now they do have a catalog of stuff on Tubi with WWE Evolve, but we talked about it also a little bit. Feel like the pipelines got a little bit blurred. Like they're coming from Evolve, they're coming from NXT, they're coming from LFG, they're coming from here. And like, how does Evolve work in the pipeline thing? Do you go from Evolve to NXT? Do you go from Evolve to LFG? Do you go from Evolve to the, like, how does these all work? I think that confused everybody in the matters, and we're kind of dealing with the repercussions at the moment.
Yeah, Mikey V, I agree. He says it take GCW rep again, LOL. I think a part of the appeal of GCW is the same thing that's part of the appeal of AEW, of it being like counterculture and it having this mystique of being extreme and having like this grunge to it. And so when you link it to WWE, it loses some of that. And I don't know that WWID has really benefited them either. I don't think that it has. I think that it's done the opposite.
There's a reason that when ECW existed, we found out that ECW was being backed by Vince McMahon way after ECW was over. Because if they had found out that on camera they're talking shit about Vince McMahon and saying that they're better than the WWF, but behind the scenes the WWF is helping him, people would have revolted. They would have been like, you guys are lying to us. You're not giving up the real deal. And that's what it felt like with GCW. GCW's like, we're this outlaw promotion. We're crazy. We're the alternative. We're on the road. We're this and this. But then WWE's on your side. It feels like, well, you don't feel like the other independent promotions that I know because they don't have that backing and it feels different. And like I said, Phil, when we were at Bloodsport this year, you can feel that. Like the WWE wrestlers were just winning all the matches, and it didn't feel like authentic. Like
it felt like a
has
very WWE crowd as well.
right.
Like it just it wasn't the GCW that I'm used to.
Exactly. And I've seen so many GCW shows during WrestleMania weekend that are like some of the funnest times that I ever had. And like when we got to Joey Janela's spring break, it felt like
different
that
energy.
crowd, you know what I mean? Like totally different energy. And so, yeah, I feel the same way about GCW. I feel like this didn't help them at all because now everybody's like looking at them kind of side-eyed.
Yeah. The other big contract news was that Santos Escobar's contract had expired. It sounds like the common story that we were hearing up to this point that they didn't really want to negotiate with him. They made him an offer. He turned it down, and they just let his contract expire after that. But then, in an interesting turn of events, the reports were that AEW was interested, and then all of a sudden, a new contract was offered, and he resigned. So he's apparently not going anywhere. He will be still staying with WWE. There was also the report that came out that before Dom won the AAA Mega Championship, he was in line to win it. And that kind of lines up with Los Garza winning the tag titles.
Right.
I would have been interested in Santos going somewhere else. I would have been interested in Santos wrestling in CMLL and all these other things, but I don't know how you continue to miss with those three guys because they're so good and they're so marketable. Santos feels like a guy that they should be able to push and market, and the same thing with the Garzas. They're so good, and I don't quite get why they haven't found a place for them.
Yeah, interesting developments, interesting week on going from release, potential AEW to back in the game. All I was thinking about, Phil, was Karrion Kross, and I was like, my guy. Because they feel different about it. Like this whole situation went a lot different. It feels like it wasn't even like people weren't even revolt. Like when we heard about Santos, people were like, damn, that's unfortunate that he got released, but we're happy to see him all these other places. It wasn't like you guys better rehire Santos right now or we're out of here. Like it was totally different energy than Karrion, and they were just like, hey man, come back. Like you want more money? Here, you can have it. We'll book you. We'll do all these things. It's like such a difference.
The great thing here is the second his contract expired, it showed that he had leverage because people were immediately interested. And once it showed that he had leverage, they were like, wait, hold on. We got another contract right here. Hold on. Let's.
I think, it was just lagging.
So, I hope, look, good for him. Get your bag, bro. Yes, it did. Seems like it. But yeah, good for him. Seems like he got offered what he wanted out of this. And so, man, never gonna be upset about that. Somebody he wasn't a free agent for a whole week, and his worth was already there. And they were like, "Yep, we got you. Sorry, we doubted you."
Yeah, I'm not gonna be mad at what now is. I think wrestlers are just straight up gonna be using AEW as leverage. Like, even if they're going in lying and being like, "Yeah, AEW offered me this big ass contract, dog. What y'all gonna do about it?" Like, I'm with it. That's what's the benefit of AEW existing now and having other places that are giving out money that's going to help the wrestlers. Because we all Phil and I have ever pitched on this shows, we care about the wrestlers more than we care about these companies because these companies don't care about these wrestlers. So if Santos went in there and was like, listen, the boys are offering this, what y'all gonna do about it? And that worked for him. I'm happy for him. I hope that he got a big bag. He deserved it, man.
Yeah, it seems like WWE is where he wants to be. So hey man, good for him. I saw as well this week, Selena is now teaming up with Aleister Black. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, they gone. I don't think they're coming back, guys. All of that stuff about that was a work. I don't know, man. I don't think them guys are coming back.
I saw you say that in one of the group chats, and I didn't know what you were talking about. You're like, they're gone. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh. Because visually... it's already like, oh yeah, they're out of here, dude.
I don't think they're coming back, guys. And bits of that Van Vliet interview where Scarlett was like, "Yeah, we might have an offer for you, but let's figure it out with him first." I was like,
Mm,
I don't know. And even her saying that this felt kind of sexist, and of course, wrestling fans did what wrestling fans do. Like, well, how is it? How is it sexist, guys? Somebody trying to determine a woman's worth based on their spouse? That's either way, I could see how she felt that way.
That falls into a line of what sexist would feel like. Most glaring part for me, Phil, is he said, I did that promo in Vegas and they said that the office was mad. So I went to talk to the office and the office was like, we don't even know what you're talking about. And then I went back and they said, oh, it was just Triple H that was mad.
Yeah. Like I said, all of this sounds away. That's why I've been saying from the beginning, everybody's like, it's a work. I was like, I don't know. This doesn't have some of the usual signs of a work to me, guys. It kind of feels like it's exactly what it is. I don't know.
This is, if you were to bet me 4 years ago who Triple H's number one guy would be, I would have said far and away from the indies, Karrion Kross, Killer Kross is going to gangbuster. He's going to destroy when he gets to that company, just because I feel like who's more Triple H than this guy besides Alex Hammerstone? There's like, this is the only guy that I feel like is really pushing that kind of vibe. And it just never worked out, Phil. It felt like in NXT, they liked him. And then like, I don't know, something happened.
I don't know what it is. I saw quite a few people on the timeline saying, but Scarlett has no reason to be mad because she can't wrestle. I'm like, yeah, but when did they really give her a chance to show what she can do as a wrestler there? She wrestled other places and she was fine. Like that.
Yep.
Like she wrestled in TNA. She had wrestled in, Mexican promotions and other things. She just never really got the chance to showcase what she could do in ring in WWE. So I don't even think that's fair to her.
It isn't at all. They didn't give her an opportunity. And like, even I just like, he looks and feels better when she's on his side. Like it makes the a complete package. If he would have came back by himself, it would have been weird. Everybody would have been like, well, where's Scarlett at?
Where's Scarlett at? Yeah. But hey, man, they're getting booked. They're working. So hopefully it pans out. I saw that they were talking about if we end up in AEW, we wave the flag. We would be proud to be here. We would stop all of this WWE talk. And I was just like, okay, interesting.
I bet. I bet. She said this will be our last home and everything. Yeah. All right.
We got more Humper Chats. We got another one from Van Twin Blade. He says he says the Brodito, Takeshita, and Okada tag titles and Jurassic Express smacking around the Broke Bucks. What else would be announced? I'm thinking OC versus Yuta or Daniel, Paragon versus some combo of BCC or Willow versus Marina. You guys got any you want to see? I would assume maybe we're getting a TNT title match. Maybe.
Oh, they announced it already.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's right, Mark Briscoe. You're
right. I could see an Orange Cassidy match definitely being added. Somebody in the Death Riders. They might even run back him and Pac with what they did this week because it kind of ended on Pac could want to get revenge. So I wouldn't be super surprised if they didn't do something like that. But seeing what him on the show, and we'll get into it a little bit, and what he represents, Orange Cassidy, both those guys, I'm like, these are people that you have to have on your show if they are available.
Yeah. Probably some type of women's tag match or like some like 6-woman match will end up either on the pre-show or the May card, I had to guess.
Mercedes has nothing right now. What the hell is she doing?
Yeah, coming up on breaking that record for the TBS title reign. So I assume something will be announced soon. If not for Wrestle Dream, but that for coming up this week.
The homegirl, just as you know, got added one new championship to her arsenal. Was it the Body Slam something or the other championship? Mercedes is now at 10 championships, 10 belts. People are not happy about it, Phil.
Stay mad. Stay broke too.
Straight up.
Come on, man. Ultimo Monet as she has changed her Twitter handle to
I love it.
keep your foot on these people's throats. Stay mad. I saw where the Winnipeg promotion that she worked with was
Love
clapping
it.
back at some people, and I was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, stay mad. That's what stars do. That's what wrestlers who are a draw do. They go and they bring business to these companies. Why you think New Japan continues to want to work with this woman? They don't just put any woman on a Wrestle Kingdom card in the dome. They wanted to work with her because she is a star. She's already talking about how she misses Japan and she would like to wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom again.
Mhm.
Sure hope that happens. If it's not Wrestle Kingdom, maybe we're getting Wrestle Dynasty again. I don't know, but
Yep.
I would love to see her wrestle at the dome again.
Definitely. Shout out to Winnipeg Pro for clapping back like that. That's how that every time the fans are like, "Oh, why is she doing this? She's ruining the game." I'm like, these promotions do not feel that way, and it was so refreshing to see them be like, "They're you think she's doing bad for us? You think she's using us? I got
Yeah.
something to tell you, brother.
Listen,
We
man.
are benefiting from this."
I know that this industry keeps trying to act like black women are not marketable and that black women cannot be a draw. But Mercedes keeps proving that wrong. And there are other wrestlers that are doing the same thing. Very
Yep.
glad that she's getting paid her worth. Very glad that she is having this type of run, wrestling all over the world, and proving that she's one of the best to ever do it. Again, if you're mad, stay mad.
Please.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Not over. It's just getting started too, dude. She's not gonna be like, all right, I'm done here. Like she's gonna continue to do stuff like this. She's gonna continue to break barriers. She's gonna continue to go around the world in different promotions and put these people over. We're hearing names that we've never heard before in pro wrestling, Phil, because Mercedes is going to their home to wrestle them.
The other thing that's crazy about it, not just these indie promotions seeking her praises, but like, man, these women that she's wrestling, they're like in tears afterwards. They're like writing like these long notes app paragraphs saying how much they like appreciate being able to wrestle her and like this was a dream coming true on all these things. It's like, yeah, it seems like this is working out pretty well for everybody involved, except for wrestling fans on the internet that don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry.
That are not going to watch these promotions, never seen them previously, and talking about Mercedes is killing the business. All right, brother. Okay. And I'm starting to see a lot of other belt collectors starting to come a bit. The Hardy Boys just won the House of Glory Tag Team Championships and the NXT Tag Team Championships and the TNA Championships. So it's like, okay,
Listen, I hate to say it, but funny how we never hear complaints when old white men do similar things, but I digress. Humper chats. Just listen. We
Bill's
got
just saying it. He ain't doing it. He's just saying what the game is,
Listen, I know how this. I know the game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta tell me. I seen it.
That's a fact.
I seen it. I seen how
A
this
lot of
country
times.
was. I seen how this country was like, nah, we don't want this black woman. We want this old piece of shit that's not actually like eligible for this job and he's incompetent.
I see them still blaming the black woman and she at home drinking wine. And they're like, this is your fault. She's like, what? How is this my fault?
I know I seen the game, bro. It's all right. It's cool. For Tony P, first I got to say, Miss Wilson is a bad woman. She was on a mission this season. I can say this is a dream approved. This week fell off since AEW was on Tuesday. I can say it was a middle of the road show. It had good stuff, but expected more for 2.5 hours. Yeah. He also says it had one women's match, which was odd since Sareee was in the country. They could have added Sareee versus Alex match or something else. Overall, the matches were fun and it had some important beats, but skipped some beats as well, making it feel like a punt. Sorry, for real. Yeah. Title Tuesday came to us this Tuesday. Head to head, AEW Dynamite went head to head with NXT. Showdown, not Invasion. That went sort of as I expected. Yeah, some of the ratings discourse that happened out of it, I could care less about. I would criticize, as Tony P is saying, the booking of the show more than like the reception or the ratings to this, because I agree that there were things on the show that I really liked, but there were also things like, okay, well, where's this, or where's this wrestler? Like, why didn't they put this here? I would like to see more of the women. But yeah, I think it started on a high note. Boy, that segment to start the show was a heater, bro.
Yes, yes, sir.
Joe came out there and cut a phenomenal promo. When he gets
did.
in that bag, there's nobody better. One of the best talkers in the business. He he came out and sat there and listened to everything Hangman said, and he was just like, "Listen, everything that guy said is a lie." He's out here acting like, oh well, you did me a favor helping me win the belts. So here's this charity challenge. No. I'm coming back for what you owe me. And I was like, dang, talk, dog. I feel you.
Yeah. No, when Joe gets in that I don't care bag, like, oh yeah, you talking all this shit, blah blah blah. My main purpose is to beat up the world champion and win world championships. Like, you guys forgot what the Samoa Joe vision is, and when he gets locked back into that, I don't know if there's a lot better guys on the mic. Just like pointed Samoa Joe with the story, hardcore. But also, I'm really loving this. Everybody keeps doubting Hangman of him being like, every time I get in the ring with you guys, or you guys start talking, you guys say that I'm not a worthy champion. I shouldn't be the champ. You hate how I'm carrying it. I'm not going to be up to the task. But when the bell rings, you might be able to get a little bit over on me, but I'm going to come out the victor because I got the heart, I got the fans, and I feel like I should be world champion. When he gets into that, I'm the main character, I'm the superhero here, I'm going to beat your ass, Samoa Joe. Also, very tremendous talker on the mic.
Yeah, for everything that Joe said, he basically was like, look, you're going to put up a fight, but I'm going to come out there and beat you down, choke you out, and take your belt. And I was like, heck, fight back, Hangman. And Hangman did indeed fight back, because he was like, hey, listen, I'm tired of y'all coming out here and saying that I'm not the champion that I say I am. And then the bell rings and I win. So I hope when the bell rings and I beat you, and I prove to you that I'm every bit the champion I say I am, that you shake my hand and acknowledge me as the champion of the fucking world. I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Nah, Hangman wasn't fucking around. He's like, nah, I hear you, dog, but like, I got the belt right now, and I'm gonna have the belt after, and I hope that you could see that.
Yeah, no, very good segment. I thought that it did very well for a lot of people that were wondering, okay, why are they doing this match? Where's the story?
Right.
In just that little segment, they immediately gave us a succinct story, gave us a great promo for both guys, and did a lot to hype up this match in just one segment.
Match. Yeah, legit. There were a lot of people that were like, we like Samoa Joe, but why? And then like Samoa Joe was like, here's why. Because I want to beat this fool's ass, and I don't like how he disrespected me last week. And everybody's like, all right, we're in.
No, I love Joe being like, I've been felt away.
Yeah.
This wasn't just about you not handing me my belt correctly last week. No, that was just the cherry on top. I've been felt away. I've been felt like you were a fraud. I've been felt like that was my belt.
We helped you win this belt.
You were champion if it wasn't for me. So give me what I'm owed, and I'm gonna walk out as champion. I was like, yo, all right, that was a heater, bro. I love that segment. Very excited for this match. I do think that it's a bit predictable, but I do think it's gonna be a great match.
Me too. I think that's probably the bigger issue, and kind of going along with what you were talking about and what the story of the show was. It's all of it feels predictable. It just feels like we're kind of moving along. It feels like that lull period between like, we got a big thing coming up, but like we're also kind of slow walking the dog. Like we talked about on Ask Grapsody. Football plays a huge role in kind of the wrestling business becoming this like, okay, foot's off the gas. We're kind of just like moving along. We're going to give you some stuff that you like. When we get to the pay-per-view, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be another great AEW pay-per-view, but like the stories aren't going to be as strong. The TV's not going to be as strong, and things aren't going to be as moving as fast as they were like going into All In.
Yeah. I the other note that I really liked about this is I love Hangman as champion coming back to prove a bunch of people wrong and coming to right a lot of the wrongs from his time as a heel, because as I pointed out last week, Yeah, defending the belt against Joe in St. Louis is symbolic because for him,
It is.
if he had not turned heel and if things turned out differently a year ago, he would have been heading into Dynasty to challenge Joe in a one-on-one match instead of Swerve. And Swerve, of course, in St. Louis went on to win the world title. So I like the idea of him coming into St. Louis this time as champion to go, oh, wait a minute, I can beat you. Just don't get it confused because things went that way. And I was more focused on trying to keep Swerve away from this belt that I can't beat you.
Right. Yeah, really good callbacks. They always kind of connect those things like that. And it felt like they're still telling a story. And that's what Samoa Joe's energy was like. I remember that. I don't forget nothing. Like I've been thinking about wanting to beat your ass, and I'm happy that I'm going to get the opportunity.
Yeah. And from Joe's point of being like, well, you can do what you want. You needed me. You needed my help to win that belt. And you ain't ever beat me. So
right another wrong. Hangman's trying to right another wrong. That's dope.
Yeah, I really like the story going into this. Really simple, easy to understand. We got Jon Moxley versus Ishii right after this, which I've been saying before. Jon Moxley is incredible. His entrances continue to be one of the coolest things on the show. The guy is just effortlessly cool. The red light on him, and you just see his big silhouette on the wall, and Marina's trying to hype him up. I think that was from Collision, right? Or was that from Wednesday? That was from Collision.
No, it was Wednesday. They do it every time now. Essentially, she does like the slap thing to him.
So cool. Never gonna be tired of watching Ishii hit people very hard. Just one of them guys where you put him under some bright lights, he's gonna show up.
Since Jon Moxley has lost the AEW World Championship, Phil, he's been on a different level, hasn't he? Like everything seems like extra. This match felt like like Jon Moxley was working the best that he could work at this point. Like he was like, I'm gonna go on this Wednesday night and give y'all one of these bangers. It felt like a classic New Japan style structured match. The way that they laid it out, they're striking in the middle of the ring, they're dropping each other on their head. It's slow paced, but they're still like really giving it up. Like this match was super fun. Ishii's always good for moments like this where at moments the crowd believes that he could win, even though like we know he's not going to win, but he still gets it to that point of like, I could probably beat this fool if I headbutt him hard enough. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The big street fight we got, Hurt Syndicate taking on The Demand. Really enjoyed this. These 6-man wrestling will never stop being fun to me. I really enjoyed their pay-per-view match. This match wasn't as good, but it was still a lot of fun. Still really enjoyed the plunder here.
The finish.
Watching the closing sequences of this match and Bobby turning into this unstoppable monster, just running through everybody and destroying people. I was like, listen, we've had our fun. They had their tag run. We've done these multi-man matches. That guy should be challenging for the world title. He's just too good, man. He's too good to be put in this box and be over there. Nah, bro. No. This guy, man.
I always forget until moments like this, Phil, when the crowd got into that Lashley, when they were like, we're behind him, and he turned into that. He's running all over the ring, spearing people. That fucking spine buster that he does, that looks so ridiculous. He gets people so high in the air, smash Toa through that table on the floor. I was like, nah, he like represents something different. I think if you can get those same vibes that you got with Samoa Joe and Hangman with Lashley, like he represents something like that of like, damn, this fool would like, people would believe that he could beat Hangman Page, you know what I mean, if he was in that position.
Towards the end of this match, he felt like a world beater, bro. I was like, bro, I'm ready to see him. Even if you're not going to put him in a world title match, I'm ready to see this guy get a real singles run with his company. Because this guy is a singles wrestler. This guy is a main eventer. And I said this on Twitter, and somebody was like, but why? I was like, dude, why are you signing Bobby Lashley if you're not going to use him as a big main eventer? I'm not saying that he needs to be champion and he needs to have this long, unstoppable winning streak, but this guy was made to main event shows, bro. Like what he was doing over there when he was world champion and the pedigree that this guy has in wrestling. Nah, man, we got to get to it with him as a singles wrestler.
I just think he represents, like, if they built him up as a singles guy, he could represent something without even being champion. Like, just beating Bobby Lashley is an accolade. Like, that's how big of a star he is. Like, if he went on a run, Phil starts tearing through these fools, and then he could become a main event in himself. Like, who could beat this fucking monster in Bobby Lashley, the Big Homie Powerhouse Hobbs? But that could totally be a thing moving forward here.
Bro. Come on, man. Get to the matches. Get us the Okada match. Get the matches with Bobby, man. That was my single thought coming out of this match. That was my biggest takeaway. I mean, honestly, it was my biggest takeaway from this episode of Dynamite. I was like, bro, we got to get to it with this guy, man. He's just too good.
Yeah. This felt like something different. Like the tag matches have been great. They still have the best theme music and the best chant. Like that makes a lot of sense. Like you don't have to split her syndicate. We're not talking about that at all.
No.
But Bobby Lashley needs to be a singles guy. And also on that same kind of token, Phil, every time Shelton's in a single once too, it feels like something special. So it's like, I think these guys could maybe represent a little bit more if they were both just singles guys.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing with the demand going forward as well. Still very entertained by those guys as well. Toa Leona continues to be a guy that I am impressed with every time he's in one of these matches. I think they're underrated as a tag team. He and Khan, I think Gates of Agony should have a better footing in the tag division. Ricochet is another one, man. Like I think he was at a spot earlier this year as a singles wrestler, and they've kind of taken their foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, I would like to see this guy in the main title picture as well. This guy wrestled at the Tokyo Dome this year. Come on, get this guy back in the singles run. Where I mean, even if it's just challenging Fletcher or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Right. I think though I think that he's a Hangman potential opponent for like a mini little feud, something, just because of what he can represent. I think they can heat him up to that point with a few little key major moves. He was tremendous in this, just like being Ricochet, that point where he tried to hit the shooting star press but the table didn't break and then everybody just crashed through it. I'm like, this is that kind of destruction we love. I don't know if you saw that video afterwards, Phil, of them in the locker room and that knot on Ricochet's head, but that shit looked nasty.
And man, you gotta give it up to Ricochet. At one point people are like, I don't know that he fits here. He's completely changed his approach to wrestling. He's completely changed his approach to character work, and it's gotten over really well. He's really one of the best heels in the company at this point.
This is Ricochet, such the funniest case because people are reminded with like videos on the internet. This is one of the greatest high flyers of all time. Like one of the, like, you can make a list of fools that have done crazy stuff in the pro wrestling business, crazy flips. Ricochet is one of those guys. He's not a flipper anymore. He's not a high flyer. That's not a part of his game. Like he came to AEW and was like, actually, I'm just going to be this kind of heel that everybody hates, have this shit and just like become a different type of character, not having to rely on the shit. He can still do the shit with ease, but like, that's not a factor. Like if he could go babyface and start doing high flying shit and we think he's the greatest of all time, but that's not what he wants to use his AEW run as. And I think it's benefited him better because being a heel in this position with this hatred just got people to feel a different way about him. And he wouldn't have been able to be in the world title picture without what he's doing now.
Yeah. I continue to say, shame on people for trying to convince me on the internet that this guy is not a generational talent. I continue to say people had this guy fucked up. And he was over in that other place and they were just booking him like he was just another guy. He had a quote this week with something to that degree. And I was just like, man, listen, I'm so glad he's not over there no more. He's doing something else because they had him fucked up, man.
Ricochet is not just another guy. He's not just like, oh yeah, and Ricochet's here too. No, that's Ricochet, dog. Double moonsault Ricochet. Like this guy, like changed the whole world. I always say I judge generational by how many offsprings or kids you have. And there's so many Ricochet kids. Every time I see a new wrestler, I'm like, oh yeah, you watched a lot of Ricochet tapes, didn't you? Like that's what he represents here.
This is how crazy the world is. We listen to people because of where they work diminish Ricochet and Will Ospreay, and then two women went over to NXT and wrestled their style of match, and they were like, "This is a classic match." They're doing what these guys did in one of the most influential matches of this decade. And when people were saying then that it's one of the most influential matches there is, people were like, "Nah, y'all glazing." But hold on. Hold on. We can tell the truth, bro. We can just tell the truth.
Can. Yeah, it's easy. Dog, when the women did that match and people were like, oh my God, they're changing the game. I was like, nah, look, how are we doing this? You guys can see that yourself here, dude. Like a couple years ago, you were saying this is ruining the business, the worst thing that ever happened. These flippity-do gymnastic guys are terrible. And now it's totally different. It was crazy.
Yeah. And listen, no knock to Kalani and Soruka. I think they're great. I've become more and more a fan of Soruka watching her recently. But yeah, people were definitely lying. Yeah. People were lying.
Big cap.
Yeah. Yeah. Really excited to see Jurassic Express back together. That was cool. The TNT title match was good. I mean, Kyle continues to be a guy that can turn it up at any point. It kind of seems like they're teeing up a split between him and Roddy, because Roddy do not feel like he's feeling this conglomeration stuff. And Kyle keep looking around like, look, this is fun. You don't want to be over here with us? And he's just like, nah, man. What are y'all doing?
Now, Kyle, Roddy has some, like, he wants to get down to some real shit. I think he keeps feeling like Kyle is having a good time. They're having fun. They're slapping hands. They're doing jokes. They're going out after the show. But I feel like Roddy's like, I want to win some belts. I want to like get down to business. Because every time they have like a serious ass match, Roddy's in there like, I'm trying to kill everybody. Fool, I don't know what you're talking about. This ain't a game to me. I want to be here and hurting people. And it seems opposite. I don't know if that's going to lead to a feud with them, which I think would be great, or what's happening here. But I'm loving the work that they've been doing when they do have the matches. So
yeah. There were a bunch of things like that, backstage segments that I did like, that they did a little bit of sprinkling, planted a few seeds. The TBS title match was fine. I enjoyed it. I think that Lacey Lane is kind of underrated, surprisingly. I'm surprised she's underrated because if you watched her in WWE, if you watch some of her stuff in NXT or like some of the singles matches she had, or even her run with Casey Catanzaro as a tag team, you know she can work.
Right.
So I was surprised with how much people are like, oh, she's actually pretty good. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, I thought that match was good. I just at this point feel like we've had our fill of the Challenger of the Week thing for Mercedes. I think that she's done this long enough. You can do something else with her. I'm ready for them to give her some actual storylines. I think that the belt collector gimmick has worked. I think that she's done good things as a heel, but she just needs a real storyline, and she hasn't had that yet.
Yeah, I feel like we could. For a while, I was like, you're feeding me. Righteous Reg doesn't care. Book these great matches. Put her against somebody, and it's going to be fine. This is the week that I felt like, all right, we need like a story attached to that. Like, I feel like we could still do the same thing. She could still be belt collector. She could still be doing these challenges, but we also have to have somebody that's like, I want to take all your shit, or somebody that's looming in the back, or somebody that's attached to her. That's like, we're going to get to this big fight. She did the thing with Tony for a little bit, but Tony's over here. We need like a challenger for her that's chasing her ass.
Yeah, I'm ready for like a big extended feud of her. And like she's had some like stories here and there. She's had like some good beats here and there. I'm just ready for something for her to really sink her teeth into as a character. And I just don't feel like we've really gotten that yet. And I mean, there's plenty of potential of that with Tony and some other things they're setting up coming into next year, but I'm just ready to get to it. And I really feel like at this point, she's outgrown that belt. Like the TBS title run has done what it was supposed to do. I get why they didn't want to make her main champion coming into the company, because people would have whined about it, but I think it's time. I think it's time to move on from that belt and do something else.
Every time we're going to see her tonight on Collision in a mixed tag team match. Every time Willow Nightingale is on TV, I'm like, what? Why do y'all? What? Like what? Like that could be the Mercedes thing. I thought that she was going to be the one to beat Mercedes for the TBS championship. I thought that was what we were leading to, but she's not anywhere close to Mercedes. She's not anywhere close to being at that point. And not just her, there's a couple of other women that I think could be heated up and put into something with Mercedes that really makes sense. I hope that they get to it.
Yeah, I would not be mad at. I think there's a few women that could beat her for the TBS title, and I wouldn't be mad at. Willow makes a lot of sense. Man, based off the last few weeks, man, I wouldn't be mad at Alex Windsor beating her, man. Alex Windsor has been on a tear, bro.
Alex Windsor,
but yeah. I'm just ready for her to do something else. I was waiting to get to this point because I saw Jose send it in our chat that, well, she doesn't really have 10 belts. She has 9 belts and the Owen belt. Yeah, she's supposed to be taking a shortcut to that because she's a heel. Like, right. Yeah, if Hangman's the guy that's like, well, I won this belt, I won Owen, I'm going to give this back to you guys, and I'm going to go on and win the world title now. Yeah, that's something a babyface would do. Mercedes is a heel. Of course, she's going to run around still with the Owen belt and rub people's nose in it that she still has that belt. Because, yeah, she's hoarding all these belts.
Yep. And essentially, she gets to freely carry that for a whole year without being challenged for it. So,
yeah, at her point, like, who going to take it away from me? It's mine. I won Owen. It's my belt. I have 10 belts. Who going to tell me I'm wrong? Somebody on the internet? Do you have 10 belts, person on the internet? No.
But that kind of goes along even more with what I feel like we're saying here. Like, she has 10 belts. There should be fucking 10 people chasing after Mercedes. And it doesn't feel like that. It feels like every week she's like, who wants to challenge me? And there should be challengers out the door for her.
Yeah. And bro, I continue to enjoy her winning more and more belts and getting more and more obnoxious along the way. Again, That was part of the storyline of her not winning the world title, because Tony's like, I'm not going to let you win this belt that I went through hell to get just so it can be another trinket for you.
What's the resolution I'm thinking? Like, is she going to individually lose all 10 of these? Is she going to put 5 of them on the line one time? Like, there's so many intriguing ways to go for it, and I'm interested to see how they do it. But the big story here that Phil and I are talking about, we need a real storyline that extends, that has beats, that gets promos in the ring, that has backstage segments. We need the whole 9 yards with Mercedes right now, because she represents something that could help somebody on the other side facing her.
Yeah, I do kind of think when she does win the world title, she's probably not going to be a heel anymore. That's just my prediction.
She's leading to that.
That's just my prediction coming out of this. And again, if you want to give this to us, I would not be mad at Mercedes versus Tony in Owen finals next year. Wouldn't be mad at that at all.
We're going to get at least one more big match between the two because they cooked at All In.
Yes. Yeah. And I think you can hold off on that match for another year. You don't have to get to that match right away. There's a lot of things you can do with that. No, Jose, no strays. I was just saying that I think that's part of the point here, that she's, of course, being obnoxious about having an Owen belt because, of course, she would.
Right. They don't all have to make total sense, you know?
Of course, it's wrestling. We got a really good tag match with Brodito, Kazuchika Okada, and Takeshita. Sorry, I said Brodito. I was about to say that I left poor Brody out in the cold, but I did not, because they have a conjoined name now. I enjoyed this tag match. I like where they're going with this. We're doing the Can They Coexist tag team of Kazuchika Okada to catch at this pay-per-view. Interestingly enough, by the time we get to this pay-per-view, Takeshita could be IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Champion. So I am very curious to see how Okada will feel about that. And will this be where the turn happens? Will it happen at Wrestle Dream?
Okada is about to be so fucking pissed when he sees Takeshita walk in with that championship. I just know it. I loved their little chemistry. I love the tension that's between them leading into this. Takeshita being like, Don, like, you keep doing this. You keep putting me in situations with this fool. I want to fight him so bad. I don't want to keep being tag team with him. I don't want to keep being in these matches. I don't want to keep Kikiing standing next to him.
Girl.
I want to fight this fool. I want everything that he stands for. I want his belt. I want him. I want his life.
Yeah. This turn is going to be great. Babyface Takeshita is going to hit like crack in 80s. It's going to hit. Cannot wait for that. The stuff we're doing here, really big fan of it.
My question is, though, Phil, along those lines, how do you book Brodito to beat the two champions on the other side that are potentially going to be over there?
I don't know. And we've got some stuff with Bandito. He's, of course, working an injury. I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah. Bandito was showing signs of that injury this week. The first time that I've seen Bandito not be the strongest man in the world, but it came to play into the match. He did a bunch of one-arm things. Brodito as a tag team is tremendous. I hope that this injury isn't serious enough to take Bandito out or them have to alter any plans, because when they get locked in and Brody starts to go crazy and destroy fools and dropping them on their necks with pile drivers, and Bandito uses the strength and crazy ass things and slamming Brody on his opponents. Like, they are one of the best tag teams in the world. They're so much fun.
Yeah. I kind of think that the turn is going to happen at Wrestle Dream, though. I kind of think that he's going to turn on Okada, and that's going to be how Brodito survives this match.
That makes sense.
That's just my guess. But the main event, this was Classic AEW coming out of the 6-year anniversary. Classic year one feud for this company. Orange Cassidy versus Pac. These two guys are incredible. Pac is still throwing me off by the fact that he doesn't have long hair anymore. He came out there in a singlet, and I was like, wait, he's wearing pants. What's happening here? I'm so confused. But then the match started. I was like, oh, no, he's still Pac. Sorry.
Yeah, still the same guy.
Still a very good wrestler. Still hits people very hard. Still does incredible feats of athleticism. Still looks phenomenal. In incredible shape.
I can't. When he pulled the straps down, Phil, I was like, this is like a legit real life action figure. Like, he looks like, if you were to JBL say everything, if you were to design a wrestler in a lab, this what that fool would look like. He looked like Pac, a gazillion abs, muscles, this veins popping out everywhere. It was a shock to see him in a singlet and long pants, because historically he's ran around in trunks outside in the snow. Like, we've seen him in all kind of places with not that much gear on, and so for him to switch it up, I think kind of plays into his character and what he represents. But exactly like you said, Phil, as soon as the bell rang, you're like, oh yeah, this guy is like a different breed of wrestler. Like, I always describe it as like one of the cleanest wrestlers in the world. I put him and Finn in like the same place. Like, their moves, their movements, their everything is so precise. It's like inches of perfection, and everything is like right on the money. His strikes are insane. His regular suplex is one of the craziest things you ever seen. Like, he represents something so different than everybody in the company. I always say Pac he's just as good as Will Ospreay is. Like, that's how good this guy is. Like, he also isn't just another guy. Like, he could be the best wrestler in the entire company if given the opportunity.
Yeah, no surprise. This main event was very good.
So good.
I was a bit put off by the finish of it, because we had Darby coming out to handcuff Pac's ankle to the bar. And then he got out of it anyway and still got back in there. And I was like, so why did we do that? And I mean, even like the stuff after the match between Mox and Darby, where Mox is trying to light a Molotov cocktail, and that security guard came out of nowhere and dove on him. I was dying laughing. And basically held him down by himself. He was like, nah, you are not about to burn this place down. What the fuck are you doing?
Real life spear got him down like that. security guard 1000% played football in
He
his
wasn't
life,
having it, bro.
that wasn't a like Jey Uso hugging Adam Copeland spirit. That was like, now I'm about to slam this fool to the mat, take him out. Darby having a Molotov cocktail for some random reason, keep trying to tell us
He
I'm
really likes fire.
Yeah, I love fire, and I want to burn these fools down. I don't know if they're teasing us for what's to come at the pay-per-view, Phil, with fire or what it is, but he keeps emphasizing on, I'm gonna burn this fool to death or something. I don't know what's happening. Very scary. Yeah, the acceleration, the escalation of this feud has been very interesting. We've already seen Mox on fire. I'm like, what the fuck are these fools gonna do at the show?
Yeah, I'm very worried about what these guys are
worried
do to each other.
Great way to describe it.
But this is an I Quit match. I don't know how this is gonna end, but yeah, this is very concerning. I don't know. I think overall I enjoyed the show, but I did agree with Tony that there was a lot here that I was like, okay, like there's so many things that I was like, all right, like I continue to ask, where's Ace Austin? Like they brought him in and it seemed like they were heading somewhere with Ace Austin. Then they teased him joining Bullet Club Gold, and we haven't had any new developments from that. Why?
Well, he joined them. They had a thing on Collision where they were like, he's a part of the team, but they haven't followed up since then.
They haven't done anything else with them since then. Like, and I was hoping to see a new announcement or development with the women's tag belts, maybe like a tournament, something. Nothing with that. And
didn't they? Wasn't there like a blood and guts match or something? Nothing. We ain't got nothing.
We haven't seen any more developments with that other than the stuff from Collision. Which, look, I enjoyed the stuff with Collision. The best thing from Collision last week was Dan Garcia finally responding to Daddy Magic. Daddy Magic was like, "Hey man, why you keep ignoring me?" He was like, "Man, I wish you would get the hint. I ain't fucking with you. Like, get out of here."
I felt both sad and I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, damn. He's like, dog, I've been ghosting you for a reason. Like, you're not getting the hint. I didn't want to have.
I've been trying not to embarrass you, bro. Like, listen, now you want me to say it. Listen, I feel like a loser running around with you. You know why? Because you're a loser. Leave me alone.
Bro said I didn't want to turn out like Nigel, and Nigel said, "Wait, what?"
Bro, Nigel was sitting back there like, "Me? What I got to do with this?" Even Mox was just like, "Damn."
Not for nothing. I talked about it with Denise this week on the watch along. There's a promo with the BCC and Pac standing in the front. They're promoting Pac's match. This is probably the first time I felt like Pac maybe should be out of the group. Like he feels like just another guy in the group, and I don't think Pac should represent that. Like the other guys, like Yuta and Daniel Garcia's promos, I was like, yeah, that gives me like, I feel like this, but I didn't feel like that when Pac was talking. I was like, oh, Pac, I think needs to be by himself. I see what they're doing. I understand it, but I think he's kind of getting lost in BCC. He's not just another fool, like I was saying.
Yeah, I can see it. I do think they're going to shift things around with Death Riders very soon. It does very much feel like something's going to change with this group. I'm not sure when, but it's something's going to happen.
Right.
You could just kind of feel it in the air.
But like I was saying, the promos though from everybody's tremendous. I think Daniel Garcia, going along what he was saying with Daddy Magic, I was like, oh yeah, he has like a renewed passion. He feels like a fresh character on the show. The addition of the Death Riders has been great for Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. There's so many things that I'm interested in with AEW, but it does feel like that same low period that they usually go through during this time period when football season starts. Because it seems like usually they start the year hot and they come out of spring hot, and then it starts to like feel like everything's running in place for a minute. And yeah, I don't think any of the shows recently have been bad. They've just kind of felt like, oh, okay, that was fine. I enjoyed it.
Yep. It's nothing must see. It's nothing like I have to tune in next week to catch it. Like for sickos and fools like us, they have put some great matches on. Like I've been having a great time, but like beyond that, they haven't been it's not like these stories are so incredible or we're talking about anybody in particular. It's just like, oh, it's AEW. They're having good shows. The pay-per-view is going to be great. And if that's enough for them, I guess that's enough. But I feel like they could be doing a little bit more.
Yeah. Send us your super chats. Let us know what you thought of Title Tuesday. We're going to get into this pay-per-view in a second. You can also send us your Humper chats. humperchats.com/Fightful.
That's a fact. We're going to get into a few of these super chats and Humper chats and move forward. The homie Leonard Aaron III says, I believe Darby Moxley's going to end up unsanctioned. I think yesterday was the first time Darby ran up on Mox with nothing flammable. Amazing stuff. Oh, yeah. At New York Comic Con, they continued on their little beef. AEW had a panel at New York Comic Con, and Jon Moxley was a part of the panel. Darby pulls up with the mic. He's like, you think I'm going to fucking quit? Like, he's just so mad. He runs up on stage.
Staying about that action. He do not care where you are. He pulling up. Yeah, Megan, I felt the same way. Like, for a show called, Title Tuesday, there's only 2 title matches. What up with that? What's going on?
It felt again like when they used to do Battle of the Belts. It's like, it's just a name. Like, don't actually do, if you're going to call it that, like, make it something.
I ain't heard Battle of the Belts in a minute.
Yeah, but Darby Allin, very nuts. What Darby, Orange Cassidy, Hangman, like these guys represent for AEW is so important, and they just feel different. It was really fun stuff there yesterday. Appreciate that, Leonard. Ben Sifner says, I hope Wesley doesn't end up back in TNA, and if he does, I hope he refuses to appear on NXT. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up next for him. I just wish him the best of luck because he's an incredible talent, man.
Yeah. Beyond that, I just hope that he gets a good job, or even if he doesn't want to do some wrestling shit, he has a healthy mind state and lifestyle moving forward. I hope he's all good, because this could be a very frustrating and sometimes emotional time for wrestlers that really want to do this. We said a couple of the people are just like, I'm good on wrestling and I'm moving out. But the people that wrestling is their entire lives, like, this could be maybe hurtful, you know what I mean? Thinking somebody doesn't want you to be in the company. So I hope all these people are good.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Ben. Leonard Aaron's third also says WWID was a redundancy that wasn't needed when they had Evolve, NXT and now NXT Mexico, AAA. The most notable thing to come out of this is someone getting beat into early retirement.
Well, you got to remember, NXT wasn't in full push at that point when they announced WWID. Things have changed. So, I don't know.
That's a great point to bring up, Phil. Like, they have developed new things beyond that. We don't know if they saw WWE ID and was like, this isn't the way to go. Let's try some other avenues, or if all these avenues are just going to be in development and we're just leading to these places, you know?
Yeah. I don't think that they've really clearly defined what WWID is. And I think that that's part of the issue.
Huge part of the issue is we didn't know what it was. They were just like, we're going to start developing these wrestlers and it's going to be kind of a hold and we could sign them. But beyond that, there's nothing else to say about it. I appreciate that, Leonard. Van Twinblay says, Mercedes open challenge for a St. Louis born and raised wrestler, 2D Land incoming. Did they announce that, or you're fantasy booking, Van Twinblay?
I think Van's hoping that's what's happening.
Okay. Because are they doing I want them to announce somebody, because there's some Japanese women's wrestlers that are hanging out in America. Do something with it, like make it worth a pay-per-view match. Because if I'd see them do the 2D stuff. I'd like them to do the 2D stuff, but on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Single Blue Nut the Panda says Mercedes Moné is elevating indie promotions more than WWE ID did.
Well, that's not what WWID was supposed to do.
Phil.
That's not what it was meant to do. No.
It's sad because when they announced it, that was my feeling. It's like, what people think this is not what it's going to be, and it ended up being exactly what I thought. You know,
that company doesn't do anything that doesn't benefit them first.
Right.
They don't care about the health of the wrestling business. But for them, a healthy wrestling business is where they're on top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when the story was that they're gonna like save independent wrestling, essentially, I was like, no, they're not.
They don't give a fuck about indie wrestling.
They don't give a fuck about independent wrestling. If anything, they want to kill it, so it's just them, you know?
No.
Shit. Appreciate that single balloon at the vendor. Grapple Geekery says Mercedes should win the tag straps and count both.
I would think that would be really, really funny if she did lose the TBS title at some point and then just won the tag belts and then started carrying both tag belts and her tag partners just looking around like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, 10 belts.
Yep. Her tag partner keeps being like, where's my belt at? Where's my belt at? And Mercedes has it.
She's just walking out with both belts. both belts. That'd be really funny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that, Grapple Geekery. The other Mikey V says, how do we get a Kevin Knight singles run? Bros fire.
Man, I was just talking about him this morning because he's on that list of just incredibly talented guys that I feel like once he puts it all together, he's going to be out of here.
Right. I think we're going to get there, Mikey V. I like what's happening now. Kind of like have him and Speedball, both of them kind of being not eased in, but like they're getting familiar with the AEW crowds and crowds around the world as a tag team. And then when they're time to break out, it'll really be lit for the both of them. So like this is just establishing what they're going to be. But both of them have big singles runs. I think Kevin Knight is going to be like bigger than even projected. I think that he's already connected with the AEW crowds, but when he really gets into it, it's going to be something special.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Mikey V. Van Twinblade says, I need more matches with people with the same name. The chants are the best. Let's go, Kyle. Kyle sucks. Kyle forever. We want Kyle. F you, Kyle. Yeah, all the Kyle chants were amazing for Kyle. I was telling Denise on the show, Phil, Kyle Fletcher, now his matches are like sometimes a little scary because like his strikes, brother, are some of them I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think about like the matches he was having with Finn on NXT and just like, man, this guy. Listen, he comes out there and he does all the fun stuff, and you know we all get to laugh at some of the conglomeration stuff, but this guy is a killer.
One of the best guys on the roster. I say that about a lot of people, but like this is how talented of a roster that they have. That like. Yeah. The 15th guy on the roster could be the best wrestler in any other company if given the opportunity. Like that's how it works.
Yeah.
Van Twinblade also says Takeshita raging fires Okada and drags a KO'd Bandy on top of him and makes the ref count it. Then he knees Don in the head.
Yeah. He's going to have a whole army of guys to get through.
It's going to be beef, but seeing him go against all those guys and that is also a great thing. So I think Takeshita becoming babyface is only going to be great for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know what the status is for Kenny. That was a match I was thinking about earlier. When I was thinking about matches that can make this card. Oh
yeah.
They did tease Kenny versus Andrade. I don't know what the status is yet on Kenny, and it seems like they're trying to be careful with him, but if he's ready and you want to do a big Andrade match on next pay-per-view, I'd be here for it.
Interesting how we got no Andrade updates on Dynamite this week. Like we saw the Don Callis family and he wasn't in there.
No, he's wrestling. He's been out on the
working.
road.
He is definitely working.
Yeah.
Looks like he's having a good time out there too. Yeah, but man, if Takeshita knees Don in the head, the pop that would do would fucking destroy. Appreciate that, man. Leonard as the third also says for Darby, it's pretty personal. Mox ripped a title match from him last year that would have seen him challenge for the title in his home state. Then there was the end of last year's Wrestle Dream. Yeah. There's a lot attached to that. That's why Darby keeps trying to set him on fire because he's like, look, I owe you bad.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Leonard. Young Odo says, thoughts on Chris and Tony's face-to-face promo? I think Chris is getting more and more comfortable on the mic, which is great. Her and Tony, despite Tony being stupid over, felt like equals because she is stupid over.
Yeah, I thought that segment from Collision was really good. I thought the video package they aired on Dynamite was also very good. I thought that it did a great job of putting over how big of a matchup this is and like how these two have been circling each other for a long time. But yeah, I thought the segment was great. Basically, it was literally Statlander coming down to Tony's level and doing all the sexual innuendo stuff with her, and I thought it hit well. I've thought for a while that Statlander is a better talker than people give her credit for. That's why when she was with Stokely, I was kind of like, just let her develop as a talker on her own. She's shown she can do it.
That's all it is. She just needed more opportunities to do it. That's what it is for a lot of these women. Like if they're giving the point of going an in-ring promo in front of the crowds with time, like they'll all get better. They just have to have the time, and they don't get
you got to give them the reps, man. And right, I think it's a good time for Statlander as champion that, you know, they're giving her those kind of segments and showing people that she can talk well. She can trade back and forth with one of the best talkers in the division.
Exactly. Good story behind this too. They've both been in this company for so long. They have so many wins, more wins than any other women's wrestlers, but they never faced each other one-on-one. They both have something kind of to prove. Like Tony feels like she was kind of not cheated, but like she was in the wrong place, wrong time type thing, not expecting Statlander to win that match. And Stat feels like, look, I won fair and square. I need to beat you again, though, to really solidify my world championship status. So good story going into this match.
Yeah. I really love the story as well here that Tony, because everything she's been through linked to that belt, she's been just kind of like, the person that takes it off me, they got to kill me to get this belt. But the person that beat her did not. They just beat her. And so coming out of this, Statlander's like, listen, I really like you. I know you have PTSD for all these other people that came gunning from you with this belt, but I really like you. This wasn't personal for me. I just needed to beat you to prove to people I could win and I could be champion. Right. And Tony's just kind of looking around like, but wait, I was in this big blood feud over this belt with Mariah, and you know, all these other things happened to me, and I needed to go through this journey to, you know, grow as a competitor and get the admiration from the fans. And I don't know what that means now if you could just come in and just beat me with a penny predicament.
Right. A wrestling hold. Like I didn't think it was gonna be that. I thought you were gonna have to kill me.
Yeah, so I love everything about that. I love that she's still kind of in this place where she's like, she felt like she had to clutch this thing for dear life, and the person that took it off her was gonna betray her, and it's gonna be like this big personal thing. And Statlander's like, nah, no,
not that.
No, I just want to be champion. I don't have nothing against you. I actually really like you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually kind of a big fan. This is gonna be a good match for me. And Tony's like, what do you mean? I'm confused.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, great stuff from both women. That match is going to be fucking tremendous. Getting time at Wrestle Dream. Really looking forward to that. Appreciate that, Young Odo. And then Ben Sipner says, are you guys going to spend at least a half an hour previewing the greatest tag match of all time coming up tomorrow night? Please. Thanks. #bully. Phil doesn't even know what match you're talking about.
Oh. No, we won't. No.
There's a couple of wrestlers that have had matches and done things that I don't want them to be wrestling. Like Devon was like in the hospital, down bad. Like, just wrap it up. Like, I don't want the potential of what could happen. It's just be safe. That's all I care about. I hope that everybody's fine. They're doing this Dudleys versus the Hardys, or could you call them Dudleys? I don't even know if you can call them Dudleys. Team 3D versus the Hardys at the TNA Impact. What this fucking show called? TNA Bound for Glory tomorrow night. Last time ever. It's a tables match or something. One last table, I think it's called, or some weird ass shit. But it should be pretty bad, I think.
Yeah. I'll probably check this show out. Can't say that I'm that excited about this tag match. I mean, the match that I'm excited for is Young OG, Leon Slater, Javon Evans. Yeah, that's gonna be heat, but this I care about this tag match. I'm sorry.
One last time, Phil, you better get strapped in your seat for the Dudleys and the Hardys one more time. Leon's Leon Slater and Devon Evans is where we're going at. Leon Slater's going to have a crazy weekend because he wrestled Amazing Red last night. Probably has a great match tonight, I'm sure, somewhere. And they're going to wrestle Devon Evans on Sunday. What a crazy weekend. What an amazing run both of those guys have been into. But yeah, the TNA show should be fun, I guess. I don't know. Carlos Silva is trying to. You saw them Carlos Silva quotes from this week, Phil?
One of the funniest quotes I saw this week, I can't remember who it was on Twitter, but it's somebody that loves Casino, that has watched that movie over and over again. I saw someone call him Green from Casino, and if you know, you know. It's such a funny reference. Basically, like, yeah, he's our Patsy, he's our straight guy, he's our fall guy.
The way that Silva would be talking, I've never seen the owner of a company be like, look, yeah, I'll help you get to the other company. Like, you'll use my company to get over there. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to. I probably wouldn't say that, but okay.
I mean, is it? I mean, we just seen a certain guy in Japan set up a situation where his wrestler ended up signing with WWE, and
bro had the WrestleMania fedora on it.
Bro said this week, WWE wrestlers are expensive.
They're expensive, dog.
I was like, what's happening here? What is this? What is this quote?
What is that quote? What does this mean? I think he was replying to trolls in the chat. Hey, bring over this person. Bring over this person. Ross is like, hey, it's expensive to bring them over here.
That wasn't part of our deal, man. It wasn't part of our deal. That's expensive.
He's like, I can call it a few favors, but I mean, it's starting to get a little pricey over here.
Listen, I came in the room when they were like, hey, what can you do for us? And he was just like, hey, man, I really like EO Sky. Can I get a few EO Sky matches? And they were like, yeah, cool. And the rest of that stuff, like, that wasn't part of our negotiation. And of course, I'm joking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what he needs to say for fact.
We don't know. Can I get a few EO Sky matches? Let me get a.
Let me get a few of those EO Sky matches, and we can get it cracking. What's going on?
He was like, "What about Kyrie?" And they were like, "You know what? Hey." Oh man. And then our last super chat for now, Ben Sibner says they can't use Dudleys even though they are basically ruled by WWE. That's why I was a little confused for a minute, because I was like, they can be called the Dudleys if you know, with these partnerships.
It's a crazy game where, you know, you can come back over there and do the NXT show, and they give you your music back for one night, and they reference all these things. You can't use your name, you can't call yourself the Iconics, but you can use this music. But now go on back over there and have fun. The same thing with the Dudleys. Hey man, y'all have fun. Do this tag match. Reference all these things from WWE, but you can't use any of these names and things from over here. We still own that.
Yeah, this is still ours. You aren't Bubba Ray and Devon. You're Bully Ray and Devon.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Ben. Oh man.
Yeah, we've got some Humper chats. I don't think that is our Humper chat. It does not look like it is in response to us.
Oh man.
We got some from Tony P. He says, I can't shit on SmackDown as I didn't see it yet, but heard it was decent after the creative changes, which I don't doubt. However, after hearing about a few of them, it doesn't seem like they did the Malibu Stacy trick and just added a new hat to certain wrestlers. Yeah, it does kind of like, hey, here, look, this person got their music back. Shinsuke is a babyface again, and we're doing the Shinsuke Sammy match again that we like to pull out of our pocket every time we want to get the oohs and ahs. And don't get me wrong, I like seeing those two guys wrestle, and Sammy's been on an amazing run as U.S. champion, but I don't know. I didn't watch all of SmackDown, so I can't really critique it, but I don't know. I do think that SmackDown is in the most need of like creative changes.
Right.
Because Raw, I think at least the matches have been good, and I think that they've got they've had such good storylines in the build to Crown Jewel. SmackDown is kind of in a different spot. It's the worst out of the two shows, in my opinion.
It seems like that's what was going on. Like, oh, they get these person's entrance music back, or they got their old gear back, or they're called this now. And it's like they're listening to things from 2 years ago. Like, you got to catch up to the things that are now.
Yeah. More from Tony P. He says, Raw was decent as well. Just the middle of the road with okay wrestling. Only seen the last 2 matches from this morning, but they were good matches. I didn't see Showdown, but may catch up on it. I really wanting for Stardom and New Japan shows this week. Yeah, man, I'm really excited for King of Pro Wrestling. Got that card looks fantastic so far. Looking forward to that. But we didn't get Crown Jewel this morning, 7 a.m. my time. I was already up doing other things, so I was like, yeah, let's turn this pay-per-view on. It took me a minute to get it going because ESPN's app is kind of weird. I don't know why. For some reason, I could not get it to work on my TV. I ended up having to watch it on my laptop because it just would not work with my TV. I don't know what was going on. But we eventually got it going. And I thought that this was a much better show than their debut on the app, WrestlePalooza. And I think that it shows coming out of that show that WrestlePalooza was extremely rushed.
Yes.
And I think for the most part, the move and everything to ESPN has come off rushed. I don't know if that's just me.
No, it seems like that because I think I've seen a lot of people that were having the same issues that you were having. They're like, I can't even get the show to come on, or I can't get it on my TV. I can't do. There was too many like glitches and issues going into it, and I think a lot of the lackluster responses that came out of WrestlePalooza were like they didn't. All of this seemed like rushed, and that's not usually these days how they do things. Like they have things laid out, they have things kind of where they can control them, and it felt like there were some uncontrollable things going into the ESPN launch.
Yeah, but I thought that this show was pretty good overall. I don't think any of the matches were like offensively bad. Even the match that I was just like okay with, it was fine. Nothing here was just like I didn't care about this at all.
Nothing was too hated.
No. And I thought for the most part, the build coming out of Raw was pretty good. I think that with the storylines that they were building here and the payoff we got in the show, I thought that it worked out pretty well. Opened the show with Bronson Reed taking on Roman Reigns in an Australian street fight. WWE street fights are what they are at this point. Very safe affairs where we're going to get some funny references and look, this is this funny foreign object. Look at the stop sign. It's not really meant to be like what hardcore matches of old or where hardcore matches are anywhere else. Like if you want to see that death match stuff, you go watch that other channel.
Yes, exactly.
I thought that this did what it was supposed to do. It advanced some stories. Roman Reigns continues to be entertaining to watch as a babyface. It's a stark difference from where he was before. Now he comes out, plays to the crowd. He at one point he picked up a microphone and was like, Australia, if y'all want tables, acknowledge me. And the crowd responded. The crowd responds to all these things because it's Roman Reigns. He's still very, very over. Bronson Reed was fun in this match, but it had a lot of the things about Roman matches that I'm not the biggest fan of. Very slow in plotting. It had to have like all of the formulaic spots that we've seen over and over again. The big barricade spot. It's like at this point, when I see a Roman match, I could check the checkbox of all of the things that are usually going to happen in a Roman match. And I don't think that that's a good thing. But for their audience, WWE fans like this stuff. And so, and the crowd enjoyed it. So it was just fine for me. I was more kind of enthused by the outcome because I thought Roman Reigns was just going to win here. Bronson Reed picked up the win in his home country of Australia. Really good for him. The story at one point was that he was supposed to take part in the last pay-per-view in Perth. Unfortunately, he got injured, and so he wasn't able to take part. So for him to get such a big match this time around and get the win, that's awesome for him.
Yeah, super cool kind of reward for the unfortunate incident that happened with that Vic Tsunami off the cage last time. Got injured before this gigantic show. So coming back, being able to Phil, start the show, and you're starting the show against one of the biggest stars in the fucking company, and you guys have gotten here in a fun way that's gotten you over and getting the victory. Like, I don't think you could ask for much more in this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great for him. Being in a, act that is really the main characters or the main heel group of Raw, and getting this kind of match and getting a win, that's awesome.
Right.
But yeah, the match itself, I was just kind of like, it was fun. We got more of the bloodline stuff that I keep wondering, like, how long are we gonna do this? They're in the midst of a entertaining story, though. I will give them credit. I think the stuff that they're doing with Jay and Roman is good, because it makes you wonder, like, what is Roman's real aim here? Because Jay has been kind of like, doing his own thing, and he won a world championship without Roman's advice. And now, since he's lost the belt and he's trying to make his way back to the world title picture and win again, Roman's just like, nah, you got to stop caring about everybody else. You got to stop trying to help other people. Only worry about yourself. Worry about your family. And that's how I won. But that's not how Jay won. It shows in classic Roman fashion in his character that he doesn't really understand what worked for Jay, and he's not even trying to understand it, because he's looking at things in a very selfish way. And so Jimmy's looking at it like, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to corrupt him? He's not like you. And Roman's like, but he is like me. He's not like you, because you've never won a world championship. So how would you even know what he's going through? Which I'm sure this is all going to lead to Usos just being a tag team again. And this is part of building anticipation for Jay having this moment to realize, no, I'm nothing like you. And that's why I ended up leaving SmackDown and coming to Raw in the first place.
Yeah, good thing that he has his brother being the one to be like, no, he's never going to be like you. He's like me. He's this. He got to the dance being this other thing, and he won't let you take over that. But it is good storytelling of Roman being like, well, this is how I got there, essentially stepping on all y'all heads. You could do that same thing too.
I also like that, because Roman has manipulated them for so long, we don't know what his name was. On the surface, it looks like, wait a minute, that's actually good advice. Why should he care about helping others? He should be just worried about his own intentions and getting back to the world title picture. But then when you look at it another way, it's like, well, wait a minute. This helps Roman out. You go and you go feud with LA Knight and CM Punk, keep them guys busy, while I go back to the world title picture and beat Rollins, because that's where this is all leading to, Roman getting a match. No, Jay, get out the way. Like, I don't know over there. Look at those guys. They're in the way. Like, deal with those guys for me.
But so, go challenge for that world title that you challenged for before.
Yeah, so they could go either way. I don't know what the end result of this was, but the Usos came out to help Roman, because Braun Breaker came out and helped Bronson Reed. And for a minute, it looked like the Usos were handling business. Roman was going to get back in there and win, but Jay accidentally speared Roman through a table, and that led to Roman getting tsunami'd, and he lost. And Roman was not happy at the end of this match. He was looking around like, bro, I don't need y'all help, man. Like, stay out of this. One of the funniest lines of it, because they did the usual close-up camera on Roman, and you can hear everything he's saying. And at one point, he was like, man, look, I love y'all, but I don't want to see y'all till Christmas.
Damn, he skipped Thanksgiving and everything. That's crazy.
Look, man, I see y'all when y'all see y'all, man. It's all love when I see y'all. But man, look, I'm trying to get out of my business. Which of course that's not going to stick. This has to be leading to these guys not getting along, and it's going to lead into the build to the War Games match, of course. And that's part of why Roman needed to lose here, because if he continues to act like he doesn't need their help, then there is no real story for these guys to get together and team up to win the War Games match. And of course, now that you have Jay at odds with CM Punk, that's also part of the reason why Punk is probably going to join their team as well in the lead up to War Games, because they have a common enemy, in division.
Punk and
But I did like the
already
outcome
kind
of
of did
this.
that last time.
Yeah, I did like the outcome of this. I am glad that Bronson picked up the win because I had just written this off like, well, Roman's going to win. So that's fine. But good for Bronson. And they're very clearly prolonging the match with Braun Breaker, which tells you a lot of what they think of Braun Breaker and that matchup.
Right. Yeah. Braun's going to get a big match against Roman in a big time. And it seems like Roman's going to put him over.
Yes. We got Stephanie Vaquera taking on Tiffany Stratton for the Crown Jewel Women's Championship up next. I thought that this was a pretty good match. Stephanie Vaquera, in the opening few minutes of this match, you could see just how far ahead Stephanie is as a wrestler when it came to like the holds and the mat game. There were parts of it where it seemed like they weren't quite on the same page. And I don't think that's necessarily a knock against Tiffany. I just think that Stephanie is that much better at that style of wrestling. When it got to Tiffany's strengths, like her doing the big feats of athleticism, like the handspring in the corner, and there was like this transition she did out of like a cartwheel into an Alabama slam and stuff. That stuff looked cool. But there were bits here where I was like, it doesn't seem like they were quite on the same page. But overall, I really enjoyed this match. I think Stephanie Vaquera has a bright future. Clearly, they see this woman as a big star, the future of this division. Big, massive win for her. This year, not a lot of people have managed to beat Tiffany Stratton, even Charlotte Flair. And so to get a win over Tiffany Stratton this early on, to win your first attempt at women's world title against Io Sky of all people, that's pretty big to have held 4 different belts in this year: North American Championship, NXT Women's Championship, WWE Women's World Championship, and now the big, massive, gaudy,
so big,
jewel encrusted Crown Jewel Championship belt. That's a big sign for what this company sees in her. And I thought that right away when she was a part of the press conference for WrestleMania 43. I was like, yeah, she's going to have like a strong year coming out of this. But yeah, I thought this match was good.
What was he doing there?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? He had to do his point and go, look, man, we were right to bet as heavily on Tiffany Stratton.
Why you gotta spin her around in the middle of the ring? Get out of here. Let her have her moment.
Nah, man. I gotta let you know that I believed in her. This was her dream, and I believed in her.
He's such a terrible man. I hate him. Credit boy. I believed. I was the one. I'm the reason that she's here. Like, dog, we know. We got it, dog. Let her have her victory.
Yeah, but I did really enjoy this match. I thought that this match was a lot of fun. I wish it had gone a little bit longer. It could have used like maybe 5 more minutes. If it were me personally, the opening match went about 20-21 minutes. I would have cut some time off of that match and added to this one, because I think right when they started to cook, it just ended abruptly. The ending, of course, was Tiffany going for the perfect moonsault. She made a mistake, missed, and that set up Tiffany to hit her with the spiral tap to pick up the win.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people, that was their thing coming out of the match. Like, that was fun, but it felt a little bit too short.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Up next, we got John Cena versus AJ Styles in a match that, was a part of this push over the last few weeks for WWE to say, listen, we're listening to you guys. You want this match? We got it.
We got you.
I mean, as soon as this pay-per-view started, I was like, yo, it is a lot of Cena shirts in this crowd. Like, it was a sea of yellow shirts.
Yeah.
At one point, I was like, bro, like, did everybody buy this shirt? Like, what's...
There were so many yellow shirts. I thought that there were yellow seats in the shirt. Like, that's how, like, I thought that yellow was a part of the aesthetics of the arena. There were so many yellow shirts.
Bro, massive pop for John Cena when he came out. when he did his usual thing, Stu did his close up on him, and then he was like, "Look at this." He was pointing around at the crowd. I was like, "Nah, this is crazy." That reaction to him, the amount of Cena shirts in the crowd, just fantastic atmosphere for this match. And I just continue to say, not just with the quality of this match, but seeing those kind of visuals with John Cena, I'm like, yeah, well, it's okay. We didn't need to waste time on that heel turn. It's fine.
We wasted so much time.
Why do we need to do that?
So much time. I was watching a little bit of this match and thinking, what is there? 3 more? 2 more? Apparently, like this is it, dog. Like it just keeps happening. I'm like, Cena's gone, you guys. Like,
yeah.
We're seeing this for the last time in life of him out there having a match. It's funny because I'll be watching a lot of Cena, what feels like straight to DVD movies, but they're just movies that are on streaming services. And I think like seeing that guy and then him back wrestling against AJ Styles and doing all these wild spots is just like, this is so surreal. And AJ has on his 2002 little tights, and it's just like, what all of it represents and visually is like, what is this? How do we stumble into this?
Crazy. John Cena came out, got a great reception from this crowd. It just felt it felt like everything that this farewell tour is supposed to be. Even Alicia Taylor giving his introduction, I was like, this is, and the crowd saying every line of the introduction with her, like I was like, this is wild. But yeah, like you said, we got AJ Styles coming out basically in his TNA gear with the trunks and the vest, and then we got this introduction, which was wild for a WWE pay-per-view. Supposedly John Cena wrote this introduction, which I don't know if I believe that, but we got this introduction that John Cena apparently wrote, where Alicia Taylor described him as the definition of total nonstop action, the ace and total boss of Bullet Club. It is my honor as an opponent to see if he can beat up John Cena one more time. He is the face that runs the place, the phenomenal AJ Styles. I was sitting there while this was happening. I'm like, bro, not just that this is happening during John Cena's farewell tour, but like just that snapshot of all of the things that makes AJ Styles, and he's gonna be not wrestling again soon. I was like, I don't know that I want to see this. Why are things changing?
And the homie keeps saying it out loud, Phil. He's like, in 2026, I'm done. I'm like, could you stop saying that? None of us are ready for this. Nobody's ready for this.
And what this represents, somebody put up that cover of PWI where it's like AJ Styles when he was still in TNA and John Cena on his come up as John Cena, and like this is a part of his farewell tour, and like what these two guys represented for wrestling for so long. It's like, wow, this is, man, it's surreal. It's surreal to see it, and that crowd couldn't have been a better crowd to wrestle in front of. They were eating all of this up. This match was very, very good. It became finisher spam at some point, but it was so fun that I could forgive it. It wasn't the usual like Brock Lesnar hit 100 F5s and get a bunch of AAs in there. No, this was like at one point the crowd was just chanting things, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Here's his finisher." Like, okay, cool.
Wrestling is funny to where we got like I never, as someone that watched AJ Styles from 2000 up to now, there was times that I never thought that he would be in WWE. I never thought, I was like, this guy's not a WWE wrestler. They don't do wrestling of his style like that. He's too small. He's all these things. And to go from that to where what he did in WWE, became one of the greatest WWE wrestlers. All the fans love him. He has a feud with one of the, if not the greatest WWE superstar of all time, that they had to do this match last. It's like, I can't believe little AJ Styles became this guy, and next year he's going to retire. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And just what their feud represents. I mean, I like every time it's part of the reason why I'm such a big fan of Gallows and Machine Gun, because when I think of them, I just think of like Bullet Club, and I think of them next to AJ and beat up John Cena, and just like what that time period represented for AJ in WWE. Their SummerSlam match, the Royal Rumble match, which is one of the greatest WWE matches of all time, in my opinion. And just seeing these guys wrestle again, man, it was a lot of fun. AJ pulling out all of these TNA references in a WWE match. At one point, he did Frankie Kazarian's Fade to Black, and then he set up a Styles Clash out of it. He pulled out Christopher Daniels, Angel Wings at one point, like in a WWE match. Like, what?
Crazy where we have come. I mean, even them just referencing all the things, like, I know it's kind of how they do now, but it wasn't a thing for a long time. Like mentioning where Fool came from, mentioning what he did, and being able to have those accolades be proud of on a show like this in WWE, it's really cool.
Yeah. John Cena continues to just like show that y'all kind of had him I got him fucked up a little bit, because he got in his bag. He pulled out a lot of stuff that we don't see him do very often. Yeah, he was spamming all of these finishers and doing them homage to his like greatest opponents, but some of the stuff that he was doing, just his timing, the way that he can set up like stories and like the near falls in this match, I think it would do this match a bit of a disservice to say it was just like tribute to all of these finishes, because that doesn't work if these two guys are not very good wrestlers.
Right. I mean, it's in a story and they're telling their old opponents, or it makes sense. It's not like they're video gaming spamming for nothing. It's for a reason.
Yeah. John Cena put out a skull crushing finale at one point. He did Randy Orton's draping DDT, did an RKO. But really, like the most like satisfying moment of the night for me was him pulling out his sister Abigail, and right after he did it, the camera zoomed out and you could see all of the lights and the fireflies. I'm like, man, I still can't believe Bray's gone, man. Yeah, it's wild. Like, I would think like before this, he probably would have been one of John Cena's final opponents.
Definitely.
And to see everything we've gotten out of this, to actually get the heel turn and basically Bray be proven right about John, and then John on the way out giving a tribute to him, doing the Sister Abigail, was just what a moment. But yeah, John Cena picked up the win here with a pile driver. He used a tombstone pile driver to set up an AA to pick up the win. Very fun match. AJ Styles is going to go down, in my opinion, as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And for a guy in John Cena that at one point people used to chant at him, he cannot wrestle. Those AJ matches were a big part of what changed that conversation around him. And I think that this match was another testament of just how good these guys are together, just how great their chemistry is. And when John wants to, he can turn on a completely different level and prove like, nah, I can go.
Yep, I can go with one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I mean, it makes what happened earlier this year. I'm like, what? Why did you guys do that? Like, he came to ruin pro wrestling, and he really did it. And they made him work like a goof or whatever they were going for when he could still do this. Was like, what? Why did you guys waste these time? I don't understand.
We didn't need to do any of that. And I've seen people try to say, well, it's worth it because now we're enjoying this just even more because we went through that. You didn't have to do none of that, man. I ain't trying to hear that. Try to hear none of
just
that.
Had more of this, and it would have been just as good, you know.
No, but he's been on fire since SummerSlam. SummerSlam was very good match. He had the great match with Sami Zayn. This match was good. We'll ignore that WrestlePalooza match. We ain't gotta talk about that.
That guy.
Yeah, that's been one of the few blips since SummerSlam, but this match was very good. I saw some people already trying to say it's match of the year. I don't know if I would say all of that, but I really enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun. I think this crowd really made this match even better than what it was. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, this is the type of stuff that when Cena said he's going to have one more year, you wanted to see a match like this. You wanted to see kind of something like this because of what both of these guys represent for their careers.
Yes. After this, we got Io Sky and Rhea Ripley taking on the Kabuki Warriors. And for what my money is the best storyline on Raw at the moment. Um, a lot of the detail that they've put into the split between Io and the Kabuki Warriors has been fantastic. Asuka is just such a great heel. She is just so entertaining. Stuff with her from the kickoff show where she's coming out there and having a great time and everybody's booing her and she's just like, "What? I'm having fun." Like at one point they were chanting "shut the fuck up" to her and she was just like dancing to it like, "What? I'm having a great time." And Kyrie gets on the mic and was like, "Yeah, I respect Asuka, but I also respect Io Sky and Rhea Ripley." And Asuka's like, "What? Get out of here!" Like you respect who?
What?
She's been so fun to watch as a heel. I think the stuff between her and Io has been fantastic. Shout out to my friend DS. He did a great video on their history from Japan and just like what this represents for Asuka. Asuka represents a mentor for Io as her senior, as her senpai. And if you know anything about Asuka's time in the Joshi scene and how she's tried to buck a lot of trends and stereotypes and how she kind of became an outcast for that, this storyline makes a lot of sense, and her continuing to lambast some of the things about the Joshi scene that she didn't agree with. And, some people won't understand that part about it, but there's so many layers to this that I really enjoy. And I mean, even if you just look at it, like the stuff between her and Kyrie has been fantastic. Kyrie is doing some fantastic acting. Kyrie being on screen like, "Look, man, it doesn't have to be this way. I still want it to be a fan." Kyrie!
And I think most people have been wanting them to tell the story for so long. The fact that it's actually good, it makes it even better,
Yeah. As somebody that has been like, I want this one-on-one match on a big stage. I want a big pay-per-view match between them. They have the story in place to do it now. I don't know where, but like, even if this gets all the way to Royal Rumble and we get a one-on-one match, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, this match was very good. I'm almost tempted to say it was my favorite match on this show. Io Sky just don't miss, man. Man, she just doesn't miss. She's just a phenomenal wrestler. Rhea Ripley, to nobody's surprise, very much over, very popular in the country of Australia. But no, most of the exchanges between Asuka and Io, where Asuka is kicking her very hard and healing it up, cutting off the ring, and her and Kyrie are just like beating down on her. All of that stuff worked really well. Asuka's heel work throughout this match was very, very good. Even some of the spots where she's like commanding Kyrie to do all these things and Kyrie's doing it, Kyrie's showing this more vicious side, and then the camera links on her a little bit and she's like whimpering in the corner like, "I don't want to do none of this." Such good storytelling, man. The finish of the match was brilliant. Asuka's on the apron. It looks like she's getting ready to get hit. Kyrie pushes her out of the way, takes the hit for her, gets dragged back in the ring, and of course, because Kyrie saved Asuka did not come back to save Kyrie, which is the point here, that Kyrie is being extremely loyal to her, but it is not reciprocated at all. Kyrie ends up taking a big riptide and then over the moonsault, and Babyface has picked up the win here.
Rhea Ripley, Phil, like, what's going on? They need to have her in a big like every time somebody's like, "What's your WWE dream match?" Every women's wrestler's like, Rhea Ripley. She still represents something, and they need to capitalize on it. Seeing her in front of her home country here was like, oh yeah, she's a gigantic star. Like being attached to, I love that they attached her to this fun story, but like she should have been in like a one-on-one title match here at the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the cold open that they did with her, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I expected. And the debut on the ESPN platform, like Rhea Ripley should be front and center on this thing. And I just keep thinking, like, if you're going to put the women back in the main event, It's Rhea against who? I don't know who.
Yep,
Even if it's a
exactly.
multi-women match, if it's a triple threat match, it's Rhea. Rhea's gonna be in the main event eventually. And if she's
Rhea and
not,
who else?
what are we doing?
Yeah, she just keeps breaking through these barriers that I didn't think she would, that are beyond wrestling, and I'm like, oh, wrestling doesn't realize what they have. I think still.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed this match.
Mhm.
I think that all four of these women had great chemistry in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, Kyrie is doing some incredible acting. Asuka just her heel work is so good, and like I said, EO is just on a run of a lifetime.
she
I
is.
really love like the small bits of the story of all right, EO went into WrestleMania, was the first Japanese woman to go into WrestleMania and pick up a win. Before this, you would make a strong argument the most successful Japanese wrestler in the history of this company is probably Asuka. But Asuka
Yeah.
has never won at WrestleMania.
Right.
So you can look at it this way, like, yeah, Asuka's trying to help. She's trying to be our mentor. But with a lot of stuff Asuka said when she came back in the Queen of the Ring tournament, you could see how she came back and was trying to prove to herself she can still do this. But tiny bit of jealousy there that for everything she's done, she has not won at WrestleMania. And this person that was her mentee all this time arguably surpassed her while she was gone. And then she came back and was like, hey, man, when we were doing this damage control stuff, you go ahead and have your matches and we cheat and we all go and celebrate afterwards. And he was like, oh, I don't do that no more. What do you mean you don't do that anymore? What do you mean you don't need me?
I'm what got you to the dance. What you mean? Everything that I taught you, you're now going against those things. And EO could be like, well, I stopped doing those things, and now I have all these accolades that you wish you had.
Yeah, I stopped doing those things. I won the title on my own, went to WrestleMania, got arguably the biggest win of my career without you. I don't need you to do that anymore. I got acknowledgement at WrestleMania that I hadn't gotten up to that point. My parents were in the crowd. I had gotten love and acceptance from this crowd that I didn't get before. And that felt good. So I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to cheat no more. And Asuka's just like, what do you mean? It's the three of us. That's what it's always been.
We be cheating.
So it makes sense. It's justifiable in some ways. And Asuka's just like, what do you mean? You made another friend while I was away. We're friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good storytelling all around.
Yeah, really love it. Of course, this is probably not the end of this. I don't think it's going to end here. Very much looking forward to potential singles match. And man, get Kyrie in the mix. Get Kyrie some singles matches. I don't think that they've really done enough with her as a singles wrestler on the main roster. So maybe this is leading to that. I don't know.
Yeah. Having all these women on TV has been great, though. They've been really telling this story.
Yeah, it's a good and bad problem to have in some ways that all of the best storylines are not a part of the main title picture. I do think that WWE should be booking the main titles better.
They should.
But I can't be mad at more storylines for the women outside of the title picture because we want to see that. But you can book those two titles better. You can do two things at once. You can walk and chew gum.
You can do all the things. You don't have. There doesn't have to be one women's wrestling thing going on. There could be 10 women's wrestling things going on.
Yeah. The main event: Cody Rhodes took on Seth Rollins for the WWE Crown Jewel Championship. The story going into this, of course, is that Seth Rollins doesn't want to admit how much he respects this guy. He hated him when he came in. He resented the fact that he went away and then he came back to all this fanfare and people are like, oh, he should be Roman. What do you mean he should be Roman? This is my company. You're not going to just let this guy go away and leave and complain. And then he gets to come back and he gets featured on a WrestleMania card. No, I've bled and sweat for this company. That should be my spot.
Yeah. A big long they've been telling it for a few years now is the thing. And I think the story that I've seen a lot of people talking about was Seth Rollins really needs the win, essentially, because Cody's kind of been dog walking him all the way up to this. All the matches are like Cody has this big triumphant thing. We got the Hell in the Cell match with the fucked up pec, and then we got the WrestleMania stuff, and it's like Cody always comes out triumphant in the end.
Yeah, I love that. Seth's entire point up to the point where they had the meeting on that football field and the ridiculous video package where Cody and Roman teamed up. He's been just like, well, wait a minute. I humbled myself because I felt like the right thing to do as the leader of this locker room was to get behind you and admit that you were the guy that needed to beat Roman. Because we needed to dethrone those guys. I sacrificed everything. I went into WrestleMania with an injury. I lost my title. I probably took some years off my career wrestling with that injury. And I took a chair to the back to help you win that belt. Just for a few months later, for you to just go and shake that guy's hand and now you guys are friends? The fuck do you mean? Yeah. and you want me to and you want me to walk around wearing this Rolex that you gave me after that night because now we're friends? I don't want to be your friend. I want your spot. I want to be considered the number one guy. Yeah, I did grow to respect you, and that's why I helped you win that night. But I don't want this consolation prize. I've never wanted a consolation prize. I've never wanted to be considered second to you two guys. I want to be considered the guy.
Mm-hmm. That's probably my favorite part of the whole story is Seth Rollins being like, fuck all this, like accolades and high-fiving and all that shit's cool, but I want to be the number one guy here, and that's always been the mission statement.
It kind of reminds me of how I've seen some rappers say they hate the part of the game now is everybody's like, that's my guy, we're friends, and y'all aren't really friends.
No.
Nobody wants to just tell the truth. I want to be the best. I ain't your friend. I want to be better than you. I want to be the one. Like, and that's what Rollins has been like, bro. Like, and I think all of the segments where he's sitting around like looking down at the watch and he's like contemplating while Becky is like pacing back and forth. He's just kind of like, hey man, I grew to really like that guy. I do respect him and I do in some ways consider him a friend, but nah, my mission statement is still the same. I am the guy that's going to lead this company into the future. And I took a step back to let you have this win because I felt like it was the right thing to do. And I realized that was a mistake. Because you are doing what you need to do. You're still about to let this guy come back in and eventually go, hey, man, when am I going to get my rematch? No. Nah. So
we got rid of that guy.
His whole motivation going into WrestleMania was to make the point of, I'm not second fiddle to nobody. I had to sit and listen to this guy that ran down this company for 10 years. Come back here and then tell me I'm second string to him. Dog, get the fuck out of here. This is my company. Like, you get to come back after all this time and say, oh, this is home and all the rest of this stuff. No, this is my company. I'm the guy, not you, not Roman, not Cody. It's me. So I respect all of that stuff. I respect that he has been in all of this, like, hey, this watch is a nice thing. It's a nice trinket. You getting on TV and saying I changed your life and what our feud did for you, what our friendship has done for you. That's great. I don't care about none of that. I'm the guy.
Yep. I want to be the champion. I want to be the leader of this company. I want to be the head of all the stuff. I want to be on all the posters and the video games. Yeah. That's the energy.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about none of that. And so he had a lot to prove coming into this match because he aligned himself with Paul to make a point. He went and aligned himself with Bronson and Braun Breaker to make a point that this is my company. I'm the leader of this company. But to Cody's point, you still ain't beat me. So the whole time Rollins been looking around like, hey man, this watch is nice. All these other things are great, but I got to beat this guy. That's why he's been saying in the build to this match, he's been asking all these people, what do you think? Like in the first segment he had with Cody, he was like, what do you think of me? Because it's important to him. He wants other people to see him as the guy. Every time people get online and say, he's not the guy, it's very apparent he's not the guy. He knows that. He's trying to convince himself like Roman ain't the guy, it's me. And so I love that story. And I think this is the best thing he's done since this heel turn. I think he needed this to solidify why he turned heel. I think his motivation started to get muddied over the weeks because he wasn't really cutting promos that made sense. The character stuff wasn't really hidden. I think he needed something like this to really crystallize his character. And it's worked. I think the downside to doing these kind of matches, these champion versus champion matches, is you don't want either of the titles to feel bigger than the other. But for this storyline, it makes all the sense in the world for Rollins to be like, no, when this belt was established, I've made the point to try to make this the belt because I'm trying to make the point of I'm the guy. And so, yeah, as champion, he wants to be like, no, I want to be considered the top champion in his company.
Yeah, against all odds. And even when the fans are not saying it and they're still saying that Roman's bigger than him and he ain't got no belt.
Yeah, exactly. Like Roman opened the show and he's like, why are y'all talking about him? I beat him. Yeah. I beat him on the biggest stage. Beat him. And every time we have big matches, I beat him. Why are y'all still giving it up to him? And not just that, I wrestle better than him. Yeah. Why are y'all still giving it up to this guy? I'm the guy. Right. So, man, I love all of that coming up into this match. I love that Paul Heyman is not loyal to anybody. And I love coming into this match.
Never was and never will be.
Seth Rollins isn't an idiot. Seth Rollins is looking around like, I know that. I know he's not loyal to anybody. That's why it was so easy to get him to betray Punk and Roman. Right. But in the segment they had where he's just like, yeah, tell me, what does this mean? And that's when Heyman drops the line of, yeah, if you lose this match, I'm questioning why I chose you over Roman Reigns, which has to sting Rollins more than anybody because, again, this is what he's been fighting against since he left the Shield. Why? What makes him better than me? Why is everybody picking him, not me? Why am I not considered the guy? So, yeah, that coming into this match, I got to win.
Against all odds, essentially, yeah. Cody is kind of cruising coming into this show because he has everything's on his side. He's won. He has all the accolades. He's won all the things. He's already won this big dumb crown jewel belt. You know what I mean?
He's chilling. I ain't got nothing to prove. I've headlined WrestleMania 3 times. 2-time Royal Rumble winner. I've beat Roman. I'm big movie star. All these things. I ain't got nothing to prove.
Right.
What happened to your movie? What happened? You weren't supposed to be in a Marvel movie this year?
Cut a scene.
Damn. So yeah, I love all of that coming into this match, but man, all of the little things they did in this match were so good. Rollins coming in with the homage to his gear from their 2 matches. He had the polka dots like he had in the Hell in a Cell match, and the lacy joint that he wore in their first match at WrestleMania 38. I thought that was a great touch. He wore the Rolex to the ring, and when he's taking his ring jacket off, he takes the Rolex off, and I was like, okay, the Rolex is gonna play into the match. As soon as he did that, I knew it was gonna play. I knew it was gonna play into the match. I thought this match was really good, man. When Cody is motivated, he gets into a different gear, bro. And you could tell that in the promos leading up to this match. He had cut some of his best promos this year. And man, these guys, they just have such great chemistry and ring together too. Some of the spots they were pulling off, I was like, okay, man, y'all were trying to make a point.
I love seeing Cody against opponents like this, where he doesn't like the Cena stuff. He got some eventually. We don't count the WrestleMania stuff, but he got some good stuff out of Cena. But like their 2 personalities in ring aren't supposed to work. When Cody gets with like an AJ or like a Rollins, and he can like, he has to step up a little. He has to go a little bit faster. He has to think a little bit different. That's when you really see what makes Cody great. Cause like he can adapt to all those styles and make it work out in a way that it should when it shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know y'all know that Seth is my guy, but he does so many small things other than the moves. When they were doing the introductions, and he's basically like looking around like, yeah, that's right, sing my song. And then a certain sector of the crowd started booing him. He stopped for a second and started looking around like, and then he started singing the song again, and then he started nodding like, that's right. What you mean boo? Y'all gonna cheer this guy over me? Over me? Tobias Harris over me? But yes. Yeah, man, the moves these guys pulled out, that vertebreaker was awesome. At one point, Seth did like this corner to corner flying headbutt. I was like, come from?
The Van Terminator headbutt. Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah, that was great. Some of the transitions in this match, just big move after big move. The storytelling they did of like, what am I gonna do to beat this guy? Because he just keeps getting up. The crossroads exchange they did. Big Spanish fly off the top rope. It just felt like we were throwing everything but the kitchen sink at each other, and it's like, how am I going to win this match? And that's, of course, when the Rolex came back in. At one point, Rollins goes out there. He looks like he's going to pick up the belt to bring that in to cheat. Then he sees the Rolex. He goes in there with the Rolex, and he looks around and he takes it off because, again, he respects Cody. He can't admit it. He won't say it, but he does respect Cody, and I think it means something for him to beat him fair. He doesn't want to have to cheat to win, and that's why he didn't want Braun and Bronson to come out. We also got the segment I forgot before this where Paul Heyman is talking to Braun and Bronson backstage, and he's like, I don't care what he do in that ring. I don't care if he goes out there and flails his arms around. Do not go out there to help him. Which you can read this one of two ways, that Paul Heyman knows how much it matters to him to beat Cody clean, but it's also that Paul is looking around like, yeah, I do need you to win, because if you don't win, I got some decisions to make. I'm not about to be following you around if you can't beat this guy.
Exactly. And he kind of wanted to see what he could do without the help of him. But it's so interesting that he was with Roman for all those years, and he would have never let Roman go out there by himself. Like that's not a part of his bid at all. Like he was always by Roman's side or always had backup for Roman, and it wasn't like that with Rollins.
Nah. So he goes to use the Rolex the first time, second guesses himself and puts it back down because he wants to win clean. But in a fit of desperation, he got around his hand. It looked like he was gonna lose. Cody set him up for the crossroads, and he clobbered this guy. He hit him clean across the jaw with the Rolex, sets him up for a stomp, and then does a super curb stomp afterwards, picks up the win. And all of the desperation, all of the doubt throughout this match because he had moments where he was trying to talk himself up like, I got this. I could beat this guy. He's still the same guy, but he looked a little worried, looked a little shaky. Bro, after he hit that final curb stomp and won, this guy got up like he just won a Super Bowl. It's the funniest thing ever to me, because he all of a sudden started talking all this trash to himself. Like, yeah, what y'all thought? Y'all thought that guy was gonna beat me? 3-0, huh? Yeah, no, 3-1. So, man, he puts the ring on like a glove. And so gets the mic, gets ready to close out this show and cut his promo. The crowd starts chanting CM Punk at him, and he lets out the most evil laugh I've ever heard this guy let out. Like, that guy don't matter. I'm holding 2 belts right now. I got this ring around my finger. That guy's a loser. I cashed in the briefcase on him. It don't matter that him and his wife beat me a month ago. I'm the champion. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, none of that does matter. Yeah. He got all the things that he's been, the things that need to solidify his heel run and solidify him as being the top guy over there. He got them all, and beating Cody was the one that he really needed to.
This was the last Infinity Stone for him of the year. I got it now. Right. I'm the guy. It don't matter what the rest of you guys have said. You guys can still cheer for Cody. You can still cheer for Roman and say they're both better than me. Guess what? I beat them both in the same year. It's me.
Shout out to Rollins, man. I think that it was very important for him to beat Cody. I mean, there was always a world where they could have told a different story with him losing again. But like at this moment, you really needed this, especially with we're leading into War Games and we don't know what's happening at the Royal Rumble. Like Seth needed this victory pretty big right now.
Yeah, nah. I won't say that I was a little bit worried, but I was like, you cannot have this guy lose 4-0
right?
to Cody. That would be catastrophic to this character. You could not move forward with this character if he lost here. Like, there's no way he could lose this match. It did exactly what it needed to do for him. I'm very curious how long he's going to keep the championship and if he walks into WrestleMania as champion, because there's a report already that he's going to face CM Punk sometime this year at Saturday Night Main Event. I don't think Punk's going to win that match.
No, I don't think so either. I think if Punk's going to win the world title, he ain't going to win it at Saturday Night Main Event.
I still think that Punk is going to win the Rumble or Elimination Chamber, and I still think his WrestleMania opponent is Cody Rhodes. And a part of the reason that I thought, I mean, I don't know. It could go either way. It could be Roman, it could be Sammy, but I do think that Rollins is probably going to hit on the WrestleMania as champion. But the other reason I thought that, because during all of this feud and everything that's going on with Cody, and Cody being like, hey, man, I got you that watch. I thought we were friends. And it immediately reminded me of what Punk told him in the build to Royal Rumble this year. Hey, man, you can be champion. You can be the number one guy, but that means you don't have any friends. Like, all of your friends that you think are your friends, they're eventually going to come for you. And so for him walking around like, wait a minute, we weren't, you helped me win WrestleMania, and I thought we were friends. And he still don't get what Punk has told him. Like, you ain't got no friends, bro. Like, that guy wants your spot, just like I want your spot.
Right. Now everybody here wants your spot, even Heyman and all those. Like, nobody's your friend. You're gonna have some people that are gonna help you along the way, but eventually they all want that world title, because that's what this is.
Yeah, but that's why. Because I rewatched that promo a few days ago, and I was like, yeah, they got to get this Punk Cody match at some point.
They keep teeing it up. It feels like they've done it a few times where I'm like, oh, they're gonna do the match, and then they don't do it, but they're just planting seeds for this eventual one.
We got to get to that match eventually. I personally would prefer that match at WrestleMania to another Cody Roman match.
So you think there's a world where Punk wins the Rumble, though?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The conspiracy theorist in me thinks that part of the reason that the Saudi situation went the way it did this year, because now if he goes and wins the Rumble at Saudi Arabia, he'll get cheered.
That's true. Everything changed with that little apology.
It's a little bit of icky feeling around it, but I do think there's a real chance that he's going to win. And of course, Jose's already saying in the chat, the irony of Punk finally winning a Rumble in Saudi Arabia. I don't like it.
Sounds crazy and feels even crazier, but that's where we are these days.
Yeah, I thought this was a good show. I thought this is what they wanted WrestlePalooza to be. Well, I don't know if I would say that that's what they wanted WrestlePalooza to be, but I think this is what a lot of fans wanted WrestlePalooza to be. And I think it showed just how rushed WrestlePalooza was, man.
They're not the greatest with debuts on places, but they seem to get their fans what they want on the follow-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I thought this was a really good show. Probably one of their best shows of the year.
Right. Like, they eventually get to it. Early ass show, man. It's 5 a.m. here in California.
Yeah. Hopefully people had like good breakfast, some coffee on deck. I definitely had a big cup of coffee sitting in front of me. That was very early.
I still need my cup of coffee. I never even got around to it.
Yeah, no, I had my my Dunkin' order ready, like Ben Affleck. He going out there getting his coffee off the steps. He's got caught multiple times by the paparazzi getting his Dunkin' order out there.
Ben stressed out picking up his Dunkin' is one of the best bits. He'll have like a cigarette or something. He's so stressed. It's perfect.
Yeah, I seen they had another Bennifer sighting. I was like, man, these two people, man, they just cannot stay away from each other.
Block spinner. What's up? What, you trying to go to a award show? Or they were both there and like, hey, what you doing here? Oh, what's up? Let's hang out. I'm not mad at it.
Hilarious, man. Send us your super chats. That's the best way to get your chats read on this here podcast. And also send us Humper humperchats.com/Fightful.
That's a fact. Send in your super and humper chats. We don't have any super chats right now. Do we have more humpers?
We do.
Mhm.
Got one from Tony P here. Says, I will possibly watch BFG for the possible car crashes to happen. I am curious about who will stay with them after. Speaking of TNA, Silva openly saying TNA is now a feeder with see. Yeah. Bound for Glory is going to be interesting. I don't know, man. Some of this is I can't say you're feeling very good about this if you're a TNA fan. This has to be like very conflicting. And actually, not even conflicting. It's gotta suck as a TNA.
I think at least the shining light of this weekend will be that Mike Santana beats Trick Williams and they crown him finally, even though they should have crowned him at the last big show where everybody was there for him to win. Like, they could come out of this looking really good for TNA, but I still don't know. Like, their women's match for the Knockouts Championship feels like a NXT match. So like some of the things I'm a little bit confused about, like what's the vision? What's the future of TNA? Is it just NXT TNA, or what are they going to establish their own thing?
I don't know. I don't see Kalani losing that match either.
Right.
No, I don't know. I mean, I hope that Santana wins, because if not, then win.
If Santana doesn't win tomorrow, TNA has had
it got to be here.
TNA has had a number of times where they've should have pulled the trigger on a wrestler and Moose will end up being champion, or they'll do some random ass thing like that. Like Joe Hendry's win came way after it should have came. And I hope that they don't do it. Like they've already did it once with Santana. They can't do it again.
Yeah, he's got to win.
Right.
We got more from Tony P. He says, it also feels this may be the reason for the unfortunate Evolve / NXT releases. Speaking of which, West fucking Lee, congrats to Ultimo Monet, by the way. Leave Hazuki alone. LOL. With that, host choice of Petty of the Week. Get well to Coda. Have a good weekend, everyone. Petty of the Week this week.
I know there's one on the tip of
it might be your boy losing that lawsuit and then trying to say we're gonna appeal it. Dog, you lost. It's over. Cut it out. Cut it out, man.
Over. You lost the battle twice at this point, dog. Cut it out. Shut this all down. Send your lawyers home. Send your friends home. It's done. No more appeals.
It's over, dog. Stop.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, the amount of people resharing that clip of Kendrick doing the BET cipher where he does the line that essentially kicked all of this off, where he's just like ha ha. Bro, every time he does the high five in that rap, it cracks me up every time because it's so perfectly executed, like the most crisp high five you've ever seen in your life.
I'm bulletproof. I love when that shit just makes me so happy when he says that shit. Such a great verse, man. Change the game. High five.
I'm bulletproof. Bro, hilarious, man.
Drake ain't never coming back from this, I think. This is it.
Nah, man. Just focus on putting out good music, dog. It's all right. Let it go.
That's it. Drop ice, man. People are gonna like it and move forward.
Listen, there are fans, the people that don't care about these things, that are still gonna proclaim you the greatest. They won't care about that. Just put out good music. Just move on. It's over.
And there's a lot of them too. Like there's some people that are like never gonna be your fan again, and that you never turn them. But there's so many of them that never cared about any of this that you're fine. Just put your music out and put your head down.
Yeah, Megan Megan Love Pro Wrestling is saying that Tessa is fighting Gia Miller, the correspondent. TNA is trying to convince us that it's just a spot for Tessa over here, and we're giving her all these side quests. Like, dog, if y'all gonna have her there, stop it. Stop trying to act like, oh, we don't really want her here. We're just giving her all these other things to prolong putting her back in the title picture. There is nobody else at this point. Eventually, you're going to have to put that knockouts belt back on her. I hate to say it because I know a lot of people are going to complain and people are like, yeah, but she's racist and all of this. No, if you're back in bed with Tessa, be back in bed with her. You can't keep trying to play this game of hokey pokey. Let's put one foot in and one foot out. No, if you're in there, be in there.
The thing that's been the most glaring for me is she's been featured on almost every big show without the championship. I'm like, they're telling you guys right now, like they keep showing you that they want her to be on the show.
It's inevitable. Like there's nobody else. Like Masha's gone. What else are you gonna do? Eventually, you're gonna have to put that belt on her.
Yep.
And people are gonna be mad. People are gonna kick and scream. But what are you gonna do? I don't know.
I think they're gonna get over it. People are just gonna forget when she becomes champion.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So yeah, my point being that having her in there with Gia Miller, just because you're trying to avoid putting her in like the main fuse and putting her in the title picture, it's silly.
Super very silly.
Like I said, you're in bed with her at this point. You can't roll over now and be like, oh man. Oh, I was drunk. Nah, nope. Not too late.
Like, damn, you was drunk again? You did it again? This is the fourth time.
Yeah, no.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got another Humper chat here from Orion Ben. He says, afternoon, Phil and Reg. From being an AEW DC panel yesterday, 3 things were quite apparent. He says, 1, TK loves to promote wrestling. 2, Willow and Orange Cassidy connection to the crowd is crazy. My friend asks, how aren't they bigger? 3, Swerve exudes stardom. And last, Darby is crazy.
Swerve, man, we need Swerve back. That's what I think. Another thing that I've been noticing the last couple of weeks, I'm like, when's Swerve coming back? Because what he represents on this show and for AEW is pretty big, pretty large. All those guys, like those main character guys, are just needed on the show, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what is his recovery period at this point. Like, when is he going to be back on TV?
Right. Hurry up. Swerve.
Yeah. Those are all of our Humper chats. Appreciate you guys as always for sending in your super chats and Humper chats. I don't have much else left. I did catch Ring of Honor this week. Rarity that I made sure to watch Ring of Honor the week of and didn't watch it after the fact. Because we had some pretty big matches on this show that I was excited for. Opening the show with the CMLL match, Ring of Honor World Championship match, Death Before Dishonor rematch. Bandito took on Echizero in Arena, Mexico. This was a lot of fun. Bandito came out looking like a big star again with his all gold gear on. Echizero is Echizero. This wasn't as good as their Death Before Dishonor match, but it was still very good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was going to be hard to top that Death Before Dishonor match just because they got a lot of time to establish it. It's just like they told it a different way. It's in the Arena Mexico. It's a different kind of vibe, but it's still just as good. It's still, you still see Bandito in Mexico. Like he's a big star over here, but over there, it feels like he enters like the Super Saiyan mode too, that Saiyan mode that's like a different level. You start to be like, damn, like, I can't believe this guy's just like a regular AEW weekly wrestler that we get to see. He's so special. And like in those moments, you see how special he really is.
Yeah. What a great year this guy's had. Yeah. I just continue to be surprised at how versatile this guy is. Every time Hechicero was like trying to get him in the holds and trying to get him down to the mat, and you could see that Bandito could match him in the holds at some points. He's not as good of a technical wrestler as Hechicero, but he could still keep up.
Right.
It's like you would expect this guy, because he's considered mostly a high flyer, that would be his weakness. Nope.
Yeah. No.
It's like
super versatile, like you're describing. I think that's a great way to say Bandito, because like he could do any style. Like he could do the lucha style, he could do the high flying style, but then he's also super powerful and strong. And I think that's like what really gets the fans into him. Seeing him do some of the feats of strength against a guy like Hechicero, who's a pretty big dude, like really emphasizes that.
Yeah. So really, the start of this match was Hechicero working his shoulder, trying to get him down to the mat. That played into the rest of this match. Hechicero, like you said, pulled off some crazy feats of strength in this match. They were just like, what? This still is doing like the crazy high flying stuff. Really, really good match. At some point, like I got just like, because like you said, Bandito is a big star. You see it in Arena Mexico. You see it in some of these bigger venues, just like how much people love this guy. Right. But that crowd wanted Hechicero to win this match. I was surprised. By the end of the match, it felt like Hechicero had won people over.
I think he's because they kind of emphasize it later that he's the uncrowned Ring of Honor champion now, and it's like, no, he's been establishing something in AEW and in Mexico to get these fans behind him, and it helps a lot that he's had tremendous matches against Bandito. But like, I think they've gotten a lot already out of Hechicero in the Don Callis family, and in moments like that, he's really fucking good. When he does that flip him with the leg thing that he does and turns him into the submission, I'm like, this is sorcery.
No, this was incredible. These two guys, what a year from both of these guys. I did not know of Hechicero before his appearances on AEW, and the more and more I've seen this guy wrestle, the bigger fan of him I become. He's just amazing. Bandito, I mean, cannot sing this guy's praises anymore. He's going to be in most people's conversation for Wrestler of the Year by the end of this year.
Yep.
Another great defense for him as Ring of Honor World Champion. At this point, I don't know who's going to beat him.
I don't have an idea. I feel like they're just going to let him hold it for a while until they maybe get to somebody. But right now, like, nobody should beat him.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just like, this guy's. All the doors are going to open for this guy soon. He's going to be in the conversation for AEW World Champion at some point.
Yes, yeah, you're going to get to that place where you're going to have to do something with him on the AEW roster, and I don't know what that means, but there's a lot of places you could put him in.
Yeah, really fun match. Main event though. Main event was Alex Windsor versus Sareee. People were not happy last week that Sareee was on the Ring of Honor show in that tag match, but it was to set up this main event, and man, it was worth it. This main event was really, really good.
Alex Windsor, she has been such a tremendous asset to AEW. This tremendous stuff we saw her do with Mercedes a few months ago, and every moment that she's been given, I think is great. This having her transition over to Ring of Honor for a little bit, establish that, work some of those women out there, and kind of really get in front of the crowds more while not being showcased on any of the main shows. I think it's worked a pretty good amount for Alex Windsor, putting her in against Sareee, somebody that comes with a lot of fanfare. Most people are like, she's one of the best, if not the best women's wrestlers right now in the world. Putting her in this spot, I think, is really cool. Even though people were very pissed.
I am surprised at this point, but Alex Windsor has turned out to be one of the best AEW signings of 2025. Yep. I think she's been a great addition to this roster. You see it in all of the big matches they put her in. She's over-delivered in all of the great matches. Like, I still think about that Athena match from earlier this year. That was just like
That was fire.
surprisingly really good. I was there for that match at Aragon Ballroom. Very, very good match. And this was more of the same. I mean, if you've seen Sareee wrestle, nobody should have been surprised at Saree's performance here. But Alex Windsor was very good in this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that kind of taking the anger that people had and being like, well, it doesn't matter that we're going to be on Ring of Honor. We're still going to put together a great match and kind of show you guys what in any day women's wrestling could be some of the best wrestling in the world. What do you feel about how did you feel about Saree's performance, and what do you feel about her being on Ring of Honor? Did that offend you like it offended other people?
No, because I feel like this is set up for her to come back. It's the same thing I think with Shuri. I think like Shuri was there to get maybe some fans that are not aware of her to think like, oh, this is a big star. Where is she going to show up again? Like people are upset about Sareee being here, but I don't think this will be the last time we see Sareee in the US. I don't know why people were, yes, I do. I was about to say, I don't know why people work themselves up about it, but I think it's because when we first saw the picture of her coming to the US and then she hinted to having a match in the US on a Stardom show, people thought, okay, well, who is she wrestling? And I think people wanted it to be Mercedes so bad, but it doesn't make sense for it to be Mercedes at this point. Unless you're going to put them in a title match. And you already have Mercedes in this spot where she's belt collecting and beating everybody. Why would you do that match now?
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Especially when Sareee keeps telling online and every time she talks that she wants to fight Athena, it looks like.
Yeah, so I think this was like one of those tune-up matches in the US. We already got the announcement that she will be taking on Shuri at King of Pro Wrestling. Really excited for that rematch. If you haven't seen their other matches, what are you guys waiting for? Go look them up. Great matches. Adding to an already strong card for King of Pro Wrestling. But I was fine with this. I think people got worked up for no reason, honestly. I think if it was just like a one-off and she just did the tag match, I can get it. But you got the tag match out of this, and then you got a really good one-on-one match for a main event afterwards.
Right. And people just can't get behind ROH still, even though no matter how you try to spin it, no matter how you try to tell a story, they think it's disrespectful to showcase such an amazing talent on Ring of Honor. But it's like, how do you, Ring of Honor historically has always been like this. You see a best Japanese wrestler in the world come and do a random Ring of Honor show in Lowell, Massachusetts. So this isn't a new thing, you know?
I mean, this is a big part of the history of Ring of Honor, particularly Ring of Honor's women's division. I mean, Mayu Iwatani is one of the original Women of Honor champions. So I don't understand. I don't get why people got so worked up, but I thought it was fine. If it was just like, if I believed this was just a one-off, I would be upset, but I don't think that it is. I think this was a way to try to get people to tune in to watch this match, and it worked for me because I tuned in to watch. And I don't watch Ring of Honor every week, and even if I do watch it, sometimes I watch it on delay. I don't know. Because you got to fix this problem with Ring of Honor.
Yes,
and I haven't seen enough people try to address the real issue here. You got to do something to make Ring of Honor feel like it matters. And if you don't put big names on this show, it's never going to feel like it matters.
Never, ever, ever. People will never believe in it if the biggest names aren't on there. You got to add some stakes to some of these matches. I think you got to start announcing a lot more. You got to because the people were telling me that in the comments, because of course, every time I tweet about Ring of Honor, it's the most engagement that I get on internet. But a couple of people were like, we've been in attendance for AEW shows and didn't know that Ring of Honor was going to be a thing. And Tony Khan comes out talking about there's going to be an ROH show, and some people leave because they didn't know, they didn't plan ahead, they didn't prepare for this. Maybe they need to start again being like, we got Ring of Honor coming up. Here's going to be a big thing. It's going to also be attached to it. Maybe sell it as an AEW/Ring of Honor show. Something, a little bit more emphasis needs to be put on it.
Yeah. People was trying to beef with you last time. You tweeted that Ring of Honor thing. People was upset. I was just like, it's just a tweet. Why y'all so upset?
Was I
And
wrong?
it's a tweet that I know other people feel the same way. It was so funny because people like, how dare you say this? Didn't you just interview Athena? It's like, okay, so he can't tweet something because he interviewed somebody. What are y'all talking about? Are y'all okay?
Why do people get so upset? People be so mad.
Bro, just I was about to.
Oh, what a life. Oh, you keeping it, huh?
That's how some tweets felt. Just say you were mad that we got it. Yeah, because it's the fucking truth. Like, why you get mad? What did the Athena interview to do with that tweet? It had nothing to do with that tweet. Oh, well, you just interviewed Athena. Like, y'all are you disrespectful. Just say you wanted the interview and you salty we got it.
That was so good because people were acting like I don't fucking love Athena. Like people were acting like I would ever disrespect fucking Athena, and I'm like, huh?
Or that you don't love Ring of Honor. Like,
or that I don't love Ring of Honor, which is really the craziest thing. Like, what does this guy know about Ring of Honor? I'm like, me? Fuck y'all. How about that?
Hey man, it's like I said earlier, man. It's okay to just tell the truth. It's all right. Just say you're jealous. It's all right.
That's it. That's it. Be like, I'm hating on these niggas for getting that interview. Fuck them. And that'll feel way better than whatever this is.
Hey man, listen, I get it. Sometimes you gotta get some hating out your system, dog. But it's all right. Go ahead, get it off. It's fine. This is why people don't like us.
I'm like, oh, this is the thing. This is why. Okay, I hear you. No, I heard it.
But see, I have no confusion why some people don't like us. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I know.
I know what it is.
When niggas are mad, I'm like, yeah, you should be.
I get it. I feel you.
One of my favorite Rock Marciano lines is, if I was you, mad at me, I would be too. So, I'll forever live by that motto. I'd be mad at me too if I wasn't me. So, that's it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, Ring of Honor was pretty fun. Yeah, fun episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed Sareee and Alex Windsor and Bandito and Hechicero. And I hope that you tune in next week. That's what every time that people are yelling at me, I'm like, the only thing I want out of these fucking conversations are you guys to watch Ring of Honor. Like anytime I'm on here yelling about Ring of Honor, anytime I'm tweeting about it, and anytime I'm asking questions, I'm genuinely interested in the answer. When I'm like, hey, why won't you watch Ring of Honor? Or what stops you from watching Ring of Honor? Or I'm curious, like what, like, because I feel like they have the product, they have the things, they have the same fucking Ring of Honor. What's the disconnect?
Yeah. I just still think they need to define what Ring of Honor is, and they still haven't done it.
They have not. You're right.
Yeah, I still think that's the biggest problem.
It is because sometimes it's a fucking great lucha show, Phil. Sometimes it's the Athena show. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like they haven't been like, this is what we are, and this is what succeeding on Ring of Honor will do for you.
Yeah. That was a fun episode. Last call for super chats before we get up out of here. I don't think we have any more Humper chats, but if you do want to get one last Humper chat in, humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yeah, we don't have any super chats either, but we always appreciate you guys submitting them and helping us and joining in on the conversation today and every day. homies. Y'all are great. Y'all are the best.
Yeah, I was laughing at something in particular. I was laughing at something particular that I read the other day, and I was just like, "See, this is why I'd be having to keep my thoughts to myself."
What was it?
No. I said enough. I said enough on this episode. It's fine. We don't have any more hyper chats.
Yes.
We don't have any more hyper chats. Appreciate you guys to send through your hyper chats. Very generous with your time and your money this week. Appreciate everybody that sent us a super chat as well. Again, our big cartel is still there, but it will be going away soon. Eventually, it will be only the one site. But yeah, Grapsody.com is your place to go for all of your Grapsody merch needs.
Let's go, baby. Get on to Grapsody.com right now and get you some Grapsody merch and wear it out to your favorite show or show your boys that you got the merch. We always appreciate it. Y'all are legit the best.
Yeah. Yep. That's all of our super chats, I assume.
That's everything.
Yeah, appreciate you guys as always. Easy breezy, 3-hour episode. We will be back next weekend, Saturday or Sunday, one of those two. But you know what it is. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg. We're out of here.